Welcome into pre-gaming with FYF, pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy. It is week 4. It is week 4 already somehow. Oh, look who is joining me. I'm your host today, JL Garofalo, joined by my good friend LQ Laquan Jones, aka at Real Deal Fantasy. How you doing, LQ? Oh, you're muted. Oh, we might be having some technical difficulties.
Yep.
Joey, are you back with us?
I
LQ?
am. Can you hear me, buddy?
Yes, I can. LQ,
Oh my
welcome in, my
God.
friend. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. We got a little technical difficulties going on over here.
It's been
But
fun.
it's all right. Figuring it out. You hyped for some week 4 football, my friend?
Oh my God, it's already started. I've got the Saints and Vikings down right here by my face. You can't see it because the camera's on my face. But no, I got it off here to the side watching it. Kind of a slow game so far, but enjoying it so far.
A little bit slow. It is currently Minnesota Vikings are up 13-7. The New Orleans Saints. Have you been watching since this morning, Joey? Did you wake up early?
I did. I have kids, so I'm up early every day. Yeah, but no, I had it on at the start, taking notes. It's kind of nice to have football on when I was making my notes for the show today. So
I know, right?
I made a call on Ingram being good play today, and hopefully the second half is a little different because he's not looking good so far.
He is not, and that is unfortunate because I was getting some mad shit this week from some of our friends on starting Mark Ingram because I had to, because I absolutely have to. We got some people in the chat. We got Maria saying LQ. Yeah, we're working on getting LQ in here. We can't hear him right now, but he's about to join us. We can just get to see him, which is also kind of nice.
I mean, that's lovely right there. Just to be
it's not so bad, yeah. I mean, of all the people, you just get to watch a little LQ. Now we're making him embarrassed. Look at him, he's giggling. We got Better Boss in the chat said, welcome LQ. Got get in the game. Say morning, guys. Football all day. All day. And we got producer Keith saying, top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you, Keith.
That's very London-y. Top of the morning.
That's very London-y. Very London-y. And Coop saying, LQ, smash that fun button for LQ. Smash it. LQ's about to be right back, but hit that smash button. Guys, we are live on the Bettor Sports Network this morning, talking all of the games for week 4 Sunday. We are about 2 hours from kickoff of the 1 p.m. slate. It's going to be a ton of fun. We got Albert in the chat saying, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Albert.
Good morning,
Albert coming in here with a question right off the back. Do you guys trust Chris Godwin today? Chris Godwin today. I see these other questions in the chat. We're about to hit them. Joey, I want to throw this to you as our resident Bucs fan.
Yeah.
Do you trust Chris Godwin today?
So here are the 2 reasons I don't trust Chris Godwin, because I don't feel like we're getting definite news that he is absolutely playing unless that's broken in like the last 5 minutes. And I just didn't see it. But the second thing is I never really like to start a player when they're coming back the week off an injury. I always like to give them a week just to see what's going to happen. And because that game's at 8:20 tonight, or 8:15 or 8:20, I think you got to roll with someone else if you've got a good option.
LQ, are you with us now? No, dang it. All right. Well, we'll come back to LQ on that one. Before we get into some more of these questions, I want to hit on the Minnesota Vikings Saints game. Minnesota Vikings Saints game. It is currently halftime. Beginning of this game, Kirk Cousins thrown 16 completions on 23 attempts, 156 yards and a touchdown, 1 interception. He's going up against Andy Dalton on the New Orleans side of this ball. 8 completions on 9 attempts, 53 yards, and a touchdown. So far, what are you seeing in this game, Joey? What's your take on it?
It seems like a lot of Vikings. Now, I know Cousins threw an interception, which is par for the course for him in London. But, with Kamara going out, being announced out this morning, I think that threw a huge wrench in the Saints game plan. I don't think they necessarily knew that going into the game. But, Thielen and Jefferson both 5 receptions, 66 yards for Thielen, 42 yards for Jefferson at halftime. I think you have to be somewhat happy with that. I know you want a lot more out of Jefferson, but, there's a second half to go. Madison got the touchdown, which infuriated fantasy managers everywhere. So
not me. I told people to pick them up. Yeah, we will absolutely see how the rest of this goes. Let's see. Chris Olave, pretty good game. 2 receptions, 15 yards, and a touchdown. Are you excited? Is this what you're expecting from Olave in that first half? Has this been a good first half for him over there across the pond?
I've actually been surprised. I thought it would be more Jarvis Landry. I like Juwan Johnson, the Monday through Friday Coop. He's on with the for Fantasy Mornings. Coop was touting Juwan Johnson, so I went and took a look and liked everything I saw for this matchup this week. And he's had 1 reception for 13 yards. So, but I think he'll turn the second half around. But I was expecting this to be a Landry game. So
you did expect it to be a Landry game, and
just the way Dalton throws the ball. And we're getting Taysom Hill under center a little bit too. So it's, a typical frustrating Saints game.
Yeah, Landry not so far. Crazy factor, 2 receptions, 7 yards on 2 targets. It seems like they're just not passing a ton so far in this game. 6 carry attempts for Mark Ingram, 23 yards. He's definitely clearly the guy there. Taysom Hill even getting worked in here, but Latavius Murray, 3 attempts for 9 yards. It seems like they're spreading the ball around. Mark Ingram's the main guy there. Chris Olave right now is leading that wide receiving core, but it remains to be seen. Juwan Johnson still involved. And as you said, Coop is a big guy on that. Big Juwan Johnson fan. He said, we smashed LQ. Coop in the chat said, we fun smashed LQ right off the stream. Yeah. A little too crazy, chat, with the LQ fun smashing button. That's all right. Joey, who do you think wins this game? Who do you think pulls it out? 13-7 currently?
I think the Saints will win. I mean, not the Saints. I'm sorry. The Vikings will win this game. They got the lead at halftime, and their offense looks better right now. And I don't expect that to stop. So,
yeah. I think I agree with you. On that one. I'll take the Vikings. You took the Vikings, right?
Yes. I mean, whenever you don't have your starting quarterback, whether Jameis is better than Dalton at this point, I think he is. You don't have Michael Thomas and you don't have Alvin Kamara. Those are 3 of your biggest pieces in your offense. It's a little tough to win some of these games, especially away from home and out of the country. So, I think the Vikings win this.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings as well. Let's hit on some of these week 4, the week 4 injury report, the inactives. In this game, Jameis Winston is out. We already knew that. Andy Dalton is getting the start. Michael Thomas out. Alvin Kamara is questionable, but he has so far not played. No, I'm sorry. Alvin Kamara is out.
Yeah, he was ruled out this morning. It was a surprise inactive for everyone.
That's right. Yeah, Alvin Kamara is
everyone's
out.
Scrambling to the rankings.
Right. And then Jarvis Landry questionable. So questionable with ankle. He's, as we already mentioned, he is getting some play time in this game, but he's nursing this injury.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Cleveland at Atlanta game coming up. We got the Cleveland at Atlanta game. Myles Garrett, he is out this week. He was involved in a car accident. He rolled his car, and he is ruled out for this week. So Cleveland defense taking a hit. Jadeveon Clowney is questionable. And then on the Atlanta side, Cordero Patterson is questionable. Should play, but he's going to make a final decision in warm-up. For Cordero Patterson managers, what are you doing, Joey? What are you doing if you are a Cordero Patterson manager? Are you trusting him? He's been pretty decent so far. Are you trusting him with this injury, or are you going to sit him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting Cordero Patterson if I have him. Looking at rankings, I have him as RB15. So I'm RB2. I'm happy putting him in my lineup as long as he's going to play. And the good thing is we'll know if he's going to play because that game's at 1. So if he's out, you can make the sub in real quick. But it looks like he's all systems go. And I like the matchup for him against Cleveland.
Yeah, me too. That Cleveland matchup, Cleveland defense has not been what it is. And if Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney are out, that makes it a little interesting. You got to wait on Clowney. We don't know fully. It's just questionable. But keep an eye on that. Moving on to the Jacksonville at Philadelphia game. Zay Jones is questionable ankle. He plans to play today, but he is nursing an ankle injury. And on the Philadelphia side, Boston Scott is out. He's ruled out with a rib injury. Neither of these players probably are impacting your fantasy lineups, but if you picked up Zay Jones after last week, expecting to play him, I would adjust because he is questionable.
Yeah, my big concern in this game is actually the weather. They're getting the remnants of Hurricane Ian rolling through there, and they're going to have rain through the whole game. Last I checked, it was like about 10 minutes ago, with 16 miles an hour sustained winds and 31 mile an hour gusts. Now, you've got Jalen Hurts, who's a running quarterback, so I don't think it's going to hurt him as much, but I'm a little worried for maybe Christian Kirk a little bit, and especially Trevor Lawrence.
A little bit worried for Christian Kirk and Trevor Lawrence. Why Trevor Lawrence as well?
Just if he's going to have to throw downfield at all, he's going to have to check down, which might, if Zay Jones starts, that might be a better option for Zay Jones.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, moving on to the next game here. We had the Chargers visiting Houston Texans. Keenan Allen ruled out. He's nursing a hamstring injury. He's ruled out, which might mean fire up your Gerald Everett. Are you firing up Gerald Everett, Joey?
I'm totally great playing Gerald Everett. I'll tell you who I really like today is Joshua Palmer. If you have a Josh on your fantasy team and he's a wide receiver, you start him today, whether it's Palmer or Reynolds. I love both of them today. But Josh Palmer, he's been double-digit fantasy points in back-to-back weeks, and no Keenan Allen this week. I really like Joshua Palmer.
Joshua Palmer is a pretty good pick. Gerald Everett, as I mentioned. Also, we got Justin Herbert, who's off the injury report, which is great news. He's been dealing with that weird rib injury. It is, I don't know about you, Joey, but every single time I see him drop back and he's about to get hit, I like wince. Just just thinking about that rib separating from that muscle.
Just take a deep breath every time. That was when Tony Romo was the quarterback of the Cowboys. For some reason, I loved Tony Romo, but every time he dropped back, I would just go.
Yeah, I remember that the back issue with Tony.
Exactly.
We got a question from Fam first related to the last game. Should I stick with Kirk in that Philly rain, or should I bench on the bench? He or she has McLaurin versus the Cowboys, or Bateman also in the rain, full PPR. What do you think, Joey? Are you starting Kirk, McLaurin, or Bateman this week?
I might. Oh boy, I might just stick with Kirk. I know I did say I was a little worried about him, but I don't know if I'm to the point where I'm going to bench him. I just think that what you've seen from Kirk the last few weeks, his upside might be capped a little bit with that weather. I would still start him over these guys. I'm just kind of out on McLaurin against the Cowboys. Pretty much every Washington player, I just do not want to start against this Cowboys defense.
Yeah. I had a thought and then it left my head and I don't know what it is. So it's gone now. It's gone now.
If we find it, let's
if we find it, we'll let you know. Getting the game in the chat saying it's already in New Jersey. It's nasty there. It's already going to be bad weather at game time, essentially. I don't know. You worded that in a way that broke my brain getting the game, but that's all right. And they asked who will be catching balls in the Lions game this weekend. Better Boss saying Khalif Raymond, of course. Who do you think is going to be the main guy? Amon-Ra St. Brown ruled out. We'll get to that game shortly. Who do you think is going to be the main pass catcher there, Joey?
I think it's going to be for the Lions. It's going to be Josh Reynolds. I mentioned if you've got a Josh at a wide receiver, start him. He had a great week last week. He's at back-to-back wide receiver 28 finishes the last 2 weeks. And honestly, you could probably maybe go out there and still find him on your waiver wire. The last I checked on Fantasy Pros rankings, he was the wide receiver 51. So I think he finishes as a top 24 wide receiver today. He's going to have a ton of work. Seattle defense hasn't been super fantastic against wide receivers. I am 100% happy starting Reynolds with Shark and Amon-Ra St. Brown out.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I hope Reynolds has a great day. If you watched Hard Knocks, you watched the heartbreaking or heart-wrenching story of his brother who's in prison. And so just from like a personal level, I want Craig Reynolds to just have a great day. Great day today. All right, let's keep going down these injuries. In that, just to finish up that LA Chargers versus Houston game, we had Joey Bosa, who is on the IR, so he won't be on there. Take notes, adjust your rankings for that. The Chargers defense. Houston Texans, on the Houston Texans side, Pharaoh Brown is questionable. Brevin Jordan is ruled out. Unless you're in deeper leagues, you're probably not starting Brevin Jordan. It's probably not too much fantasy relevancy there. Moving on to the Tennessee at Indianapolis Colts game. Cody Hollister, questionable. Kyle Phillips, questionable. But more importantly, on the Indianapolis Colts side of this ball, Shaquille Leonard might make his debut back today. He is listed as questionable. He's been out dealing with a back injury, but he has practiced this week. If he does play, the coach said that Coach Reich said he's not going to be 100%, and so he might be on a snap count or his snaps may be limited. Does this affect at all your fantasy strategy, Joey? Shaquille Leonard being in?
Not really. I mean, if you've got King Henry, you're starting King Henry. I mean, it's a no-brainer there. And as far as the receiving options, like I'm happy with starting Woods. I'm still a little worried about Treylon Burks. I want to see it from him. I believe it was Matt Harmon I heard this morning saying he's basically having to learn a new role in this offense, which is true with any rookie, but almost like a new position for him. So I'm still kind of pumping the brakes on Treylon Burks for a little while. Yeah,
no, with you. We had to see it, and that offense just has not been good enough. Moving on to the Washington at Dallas game. Washington is Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson, he's going to be activated this week dealing with the gun incident from a few weeks prior. Not sure he's going to play, but he is back. He was activated this week. I don't think he's playing this week.
I'll just be happy to see him with a jersey on the sideline. Honestly, that's such it was a story I was so sad to hear about because I was so high on him, and for him to be back by week 5, just even activated is just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. On the Dallas side, Michael Gallup is off the injury report. He's dealing with an ACL injury. Should make his season debut today. Should make his season debut today. I know a lot of people are going to be interested to see Michael Gallup. I, for one, am. All my dynasty teams that have Michael Gallup will be holding their breath for sure. Yeah. Dalton Schultz expected to play today. He's been dealing with PCL injury, but he is expected to play. Are you playing Dalton Schultz if he's in, Joey?
Is this what you see? If he's in, I'm gonna play him. I mean, I think tight end is just kind of a wasteland this year in a lot of ways. So I think Dalton Schultz is kind of de facto tight end, tight end 1 if he plays. So top 12 tight end.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to be waiting and seeing though. I don't want to risk it. Dalton Schultz is not the type of player that he's so good that when he does play and he's not injured that I'm going to like plug him in without thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so a PCL injury like this, I want to see it with Dak Prescott still being out, still dealing with that thumb injury. I'm not going to rely on Cooper Kush. And throw into Dalton Schultz. Cooper Kush. There we go. Yeah. We got some questions here.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was thinking it's going to be a weird week because this is pretty much the last Cooper Rush week because they're expecting Dak to come back next week. So what we see out of Gallup might not be very indicative of the next few weeks. So I don't know how much I'm going to take away from the Dallas offense in this game because it might just be another Noah Brown game, and this might be the last Noah Brown game we have of the year. So
it very well could be. Noah Brown has been absolutely taking advantage of that opportunity there. Before we get on to the next, the rest of the injuries, I want to hit some of these questions in the chat. I know a lot of you got some questions as we are leading up into game time here. We are week 4. We're leading up to week 4, Sunday, 1 p.m. games. Swamp in here asking Flex 1, Scary Terry, Cordero Patterson, or Ramondre Stevenson, PPR league. Which of those guys are you flexing first, Joey?
If Patterson plays, I'm flexing Patterson.
You're flexing, yeah. Patterson dealing with that injury. Yeah, I think it's Patterson for me too. Ramondre Stevenson is very interesting. I feel like this could be a good Ramondre Stevenson week. But I think you had to fire up Cordero Patterson. I think you're right, Joe. I think you can't sit him at this point.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like Ramondre. I just wish I knew that he was the top option in that New England running game, but I don't like the matchup against Green Bay. That's what I'm worried about. In Green Bay,
And then we got Jake in here asking pick 3. Do we do this one? No, we did not. Dameon Pierce, Khalil Herbert, Breece Hall, and Zeke. So which one of those guys are you sitting, Joey? Dameon Pierce, Khalil Herbert, Breece Hall, or Ezekiel Elliott?
With Bosa out, I like playing Pierce. I'm gonna also start Zeke, and Khalil Herbert could finish as the top running back today. The matchup is great. His workload's going to be great. It's a really good matchup for him. Let me pull up my note that I had on it. 5 games in his career with over 18 carries. In those games, he's been 5.1 yards per carry, 100 yards a game, 3 total touchdowns in those 5 games. So he's been fantastic. And the Giants give up the 12th most fantasy points to running backs. I mean, it's a no-brainer for Khalil Herbert. He is my running back 7. There are not many people I would start over him other than the big names like Jonathan Taylor and Austin Eckler. He's in all of my FanDuel lineups, and that might be chalk, but I don't want to miss out on him.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair. It is Khalil Herbert. It is Khalil Herbert for me as well. He has been fantastic. This is a great matchup. I think out of the 3 of these guys, I'm going to be sitting Dameon Pierce. So I would go Herbert, Breece Hall, Zeke.
You're just trying to break my heart this morning. It's fine.
I am. I want you to feel really sad coming out of this show. No, I don't. I want the opposite, Joey. I want the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely.
This London game is still going on. The Vikings, they are in the red zone currently. They're on the 9-yard line. Just watched. Who's that? Dalvin Cook or Madison?
Dalvin Cook.
Who's number 4? It's Dalvin Cook. Just not a very good run. But we were watching this game, so we're happy that you are here watching along with us. We're gonna try and hit as many questions as we can. Hit on these injury reports. We're having a good time this morning, pre-gaming with FYF. All right, Joey, let's get to some more of these questions.
Sounds great.
Hey, Ross in the Bettor Sports app chat asking standard scoring, Portland Sutton or Dameon Pierce. What do you think, Joey?
I think this could be the game that we see Wilson show up. And if Wilson's going to show up today, Sutton's going to be a part of that. I would probably start Sutton here, even though I do like Pierce a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting Sutton.
Nope.
We got close. Justin Jefferson just missed that touch. That's why I made a face, because I was like,
I saw Justin Jefferson. I was back in the end zone. I was like, does he got the ball? So
touched his fingies. Oh, it was thrown a bit behind him. Man, if that was thrown in front of him by freaking Greek yogurt, Kirk Cousins, he would have had it. He would. And it looked like Marshawn Lattimore was covering too, and he was not there. Kirk Cousins just gifted Lattimore. Yeah.
Madison's back in.
We got Dame in the chat saying, "Hi guys, what's up, Dame? Welcome in. So glad to see you, Dame. It's just not the same. Not seeing you every morning because it's too early." We got Weiss in the chat asking Godwin, McLaurin, or Dortch, and I'm jumping around some of these questions. So if we don't hit yours right away, I'm going to try and hit them all. You can throw them in the chat again if we miss them. But Godwin, McLaurin, or Dortch this week? What do you think, Joey?
So I did say that I don't really like starting anyone in this Dallas-Washington game, but with these three options, I'm going to go McLaurin. With Rondale Moore back today, I'm actually a little worried about how much work Dortch is going to get. Now, he's looked great, but Rondale Moore hasn't been there any week. And this just might be the game that we find out, okay, Dortch is a lot better than Rondale Moore, and Rondale Moore is now an afterthought. But I don't want to take that risk, especially with McLaurin. He's going to get some targets from Carson Wentz. So I'll start McLaurin here.
I feel like the Dortch, it's going to happen for Greg Dortch. He's not a fantastic talent. I feel like we're all hyped up on the name. We're all hyped up on what he's done without Rondale Moore being there. But Rondale Moore is a second-round pick, guys. He's a second-round pick who we haven't seen it, but a lot of that is because of injury. A lot of that is situation. I think Rondale Moore is a far, far more talented player than Greg Dortch. So I think he's going to come back and take his job back. I'm pretty confident in that.
I made a call earlier in the preseason, got roasted for it, saying Rondale Moore, he's such a great pass catcher. And then somebody brought up to me, well, every pass he catches is at the line, so he should be. Ooh. And I was like,
sick burn, bro. Sick burn.
I had to take a seat for a little while and think about what I was doing with my life. So, but I'm still here. So
you are.
Oh gosh,
crazy ass and pick 3 running backs, full PPR. James Robinson, Ramondre Stevenson, Breece Hall, Austin Eckler, or Khalil Herbert. So week 4, pick 3 of those guys. James Robinson, Ramondre Stevenson, Breece Hall, or Austin Eckler, or Khalil Herbert.
So Eckler, Herbert, and one more with those first 2 names. Sorry.
The first 2 names were James Robinson and Ramondre Stevenson.
James Robinson.
You're picking 3.
Yep. So Robinson, Herbert, and Eckler.
Robinson, Herbert, Eckler. Ooh, this is tough for me. I definitely go Robinson. Definitely going Herbert. And you got to start Eckler. And that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Who's Breece Hall got this week?
He has
this week 4.
The Steelers. Without Watt, though. They're not what they.
That's true.
I mean, we saw what Chubb did to the Steelers a couple weeks ago. So.
Are the Steelers good at stopping the run? I'm like blanking on that.
They were until Watt was gone, and now they're
right. Good question. So yeah, I think Joey and I are in unison on that one. DJ in the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube chat asking Zeke or Godwin PPR. Did we already hit that one?
It would be Zeke for me. I know Zeke's gonna play.
Yeah, Godwin is just too risky with that injury. Next, we got Andrew asking, should I trade Cordell Patterson for Jerry Jeudy? What do you think, Joey?
If you need the wide receiver, go ahead and make that move. If you don't, I wouldn't. I would hold pat with Cordell Patterson. Hold pat with Patterson.
Hold pat with Patterson. That's tough, man.
Is that how the expression goes? Hold pat, or is this like
it sounds right, Joey? But I'm like I'm not the right person to ask. I don't know sayings, and I get made fun of it for that all the time.
Hey, if not, I've got mine a little saying now. Like you've got Sir Plant, I'll have hold the pat.
State pat, hold pat. That's what it is. Stand pat sounds probably right.
Stand pat. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Stand pat. Somebody Scamper said stand pat. Okay. Stand pat with Patterson. There we go.
Stand pat with Patterson. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this show, we have a great lineup coming up all day. Great programming all day from the Bettor Sports Network team. We got Bettor Zone with Corey, Adam, and Tom. From 1 to 5. That's going to be a live watch party. It's going to be a ton of fun. If you have not tuned into those, Corey is a trip, man. Corey is a fantastic host, and it's really fun watching the games with him. 5 to 8, we got Better Zone continues with Holden Kushner and Pilar Lastra. And then we are going to be back tomorrow, the Front Yard Fantasy team in the FYF morning show, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. every single weekday. It is a ton of fun. Simon, Coop, and I, we go ham in those shows. Joey's usually in the chat or calling in. It's good. It's a good show, right, Joe?
I love the show. I listen to it every morning when I drop my kids off at school. But tomorrow I'll be listening to not dropping my kids off because the hurricane still has school shuts down. School shut down in the area.
Oh, right. Well, I'm glad everybody's okay. I'm glad your family's all right.
Yeah.
Dame asking, do you guys think a second round 23, so a 2023 second round rookie pick is fair value to trade away CEH? Ooh, that is an interesting one. Second round 2023. Is this super flex would be my question, because I think in super flex, it's absolutely a fair value. In one QB, I'm more iffy. I think I would just rather keep CEH as long as he's the main guy there, because your second round picks, you're not hitting a ton in one QB leagues. You're taking a dart there. I'd rather just have the production of CEH and then try and get somebody who's more of a who's going to return at least more value, have a higher chance of returning value than one of those second round rookie picks.
She's saying it's not super flex, so I'd probably just hold pat with CEH, even though I haven't really liked a whole lot of what CEH has put on the field this year. He's had fantasy points, but it's just him falling into the end zone, basically. So yeah.
Now that I think about it, a second round, like I don't know that you're going to get a first done. You're not going to get a first for CEH, right, Joey?
No. Now, if this is like a really bad team, and you know that they're gonna, but it's kind of hard to tell at this point in the season. Where that second round pick would be. I
don't like doing that. I don't like trying to project where teams are going to finish. I almost always just go middle, right? I just assume the middle, because
that's a good policy to have.
Yeah, you'll figure, you'll land on one side of that, and it's likely it's going to be, the probability is normally distributed there. So yeah, I think it makes sense. I don't like projecting forward, but this trade, I think it is a fair value. I just don't think I would do it. We got some more questions here. Actually, before we get on to these next questions, let's keep going down these injuries. The Vikings did finish that drive with a field goal, and now these Saints are driving. Oh, almost intercepted there. Almost intercepted by Peterson. Wow. Where did we last land off on this? We last landed off Washington, Dallas, I believe. So let's move on to Chicago at New York Giants. The Chicago Bears playing the New York Giants. On the Chicago side, David Montgomery is out, officially ruled out. Fire up your Khalil Herberts. The kicker, Cairo Santos, out for personal reasons. Looks like the Michael Badgley is going to be filling in for Cairo Santos this week. Doesn't matter. You're not going to, even the Bears kicker, you don't want to start. Probably not great. Velus Jones Jr., the rookie wide receiver, may make his rookie debut today. He's in. Jalen Johnson, the cornerback, is out. So adjust your defense there. It's not like the Giants have anyone to throw to, though, because Kadarius Toney out. Wan'Dale Robinson out. Sterling Shepard, IR. Ooh, those wide receivers on the Giants side. Who's going to be catching the ball, Joey?
Richie James is my best guess. That's who I would think would be the top pass catcher today for the Giants. I will say, though, I feel like Toney's going to be back soon. I mean, I know this hamstring injury has been lingering, but if you've got an extra roster spot, go out and grab Kadarius Toney and just stick him there, because no one has really stepped up in this Giants pass game to catch passes this year. I mean, we've seen a little bit out of Galladay. We see some Richie James work, but I think Toney, once he comes back, this job is his.
You think? Are you confident in the coaching staff with Toney? It seemed like there was a tumultuous relationship going on.
I mean, this coaching staff has gotten to take a look at what they have without Toney the last couple of weeks, and I think
you just think it's a desperation play.
Yeah,
desperately clinging to that winning record.
I do think Saquon will be good today, though. I mean, that's easy to say. He's the RB2 right now, and he's getting a 17.6% target share as a running back. Like, let's go.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know that I'm starting much else outside of Saquon Barkley. Are you? Like Daniel Jones? See interesting in any sort of formats?
It's just Saquon for the Giants side. I mean, if you need desperation play, Daniel Bellinger might be interesting to see what he can do at tight end. But I'm not putting him out in most redraft leagues. If you have a really deep bench, I mean, I guess you could put him on there. But I mean, I think it's gonna be the Khalil Herbert show today. I don't think Velus Jones changes this offense very much coming in. Maybe we see Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields put it together, but it's going to be Herbert and Saquon, and then to kind of forget about the rest in this game.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Moving on to the Seattle at Detroit game. Seattle side, nothing really. Justin Coleman is maybe doubtful. Doesn't matter. Detroit Lions, DJ Shark's out. DeAndre Swift is out, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is out. That's pretty significant. The Lions offense has been moving it down the field better than we expected, maybe is the right way to say that. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been a superstar to start the season.
Yeah.
But Shark, Swift, and St. Brown out. Joey, how are you feeling about this Lions offense? It's an easier matchup against Seattle, but
yeah, I think Josh Reynolds is just going to feed, but it's going to be Jamal Williams' show today. Seattle's the sixth worst against fantasy running backs. And he's got 4 touchdowns this season. He's the Lions' red zone preferred option. I think we see a lot of Jamal Williams. Josh Reynolds is going to get his work. Outside of that, I'm not very confident in too many pass catchers there in Detroit. But, Goff has looked good. I feel like Detroit is the team you want to see on your schedule because they give up a lot of fantasy points and they're fighting every week. So your players are going to be out on the field. So if you've got, today with Seattle, I kind of like Geno because I feel like that game's going to be competitive the whole time through. So Lockett and DK Metcalf, this might be one of their best matchups of the season.
Yeah, it could be. I'm excited. I am a little bit excited to see that game, but it might be just end up being a shit show. We'll see.
Yeah. Usually whoever the team is coming off Hard Knocks, it's like, it's the crappy team. And I think a lot of people when the Lions were coming in, were, a little like, it's the Lions, but they've turned into there's some great stories on Hard Knocks and they're putting together on the field. And Dan Campbell, you just want to see clips of him. So
yeah, you do. He is such a funny dude to listen to talk to. Yeah, man. Let's go, man. We got some breaking news here. Sort of breaking news. Cordero Patterson is listed as active in the Atlanta game, and Zay Jones is listed as inactive.
Ooh.
Inactive. So do not start Zay Jones if you were.
I have to make some changes today.
Gonna have to make some changes. Make sure you adjust. All right, coming up, we got Taylor Mathis, host reporter content for Superbook Sports, betting analyst for FTN Network. We also got Fernando Ramirez, who's a Chargers reporter for the Sporting Tribune. We will be back shortly after this break.
Make bets and follow your fantasy team while you buy, sell, and trade collectibles in real time. Only on Bettor Sports Network.
We got to get a team in Honolulu. What about that, Ray? You think Oakland? Nobody's talking about Honolulu for the Oakland A's to move to. How badass would that be to have a Major League Baseball team? Instead, they want to go to where it's 120 degrees in the desert of Vegas.
Right.
Ray, they should pick up and go to Honolulu. That would be epic right there for the A's.
They could go to Honolulu, and instead of playing 12 games against a team throughout the course of the year, you just play a 12-game set. Just get it done.
What's the flight from the Bay Area? 4 hours?
It's depending which direction you're going, it's 5.5.
Okay, that's not terrible. You'd have to manage the schedule a bit.
Right.
But it's doable. You play your West Coast games and then maybe you give an extra day. You play in San Francisco through Sunday. Mm-hmm. And then you have your Monday off. Everybody gets their Monday off and then they play, out in Hawaii for 4 games. And they come back for the weekend.
It's time-wise for us in California, in the Bay Area, to go to Hawaii as it is to go to New York. It's very similar. So, yeah, like you're saying, Giants do that to go to the Mets. The A's do that to go to the Yankees. They do it, so it would be very similar.
They would be they've already got the baseball background. I mean, they're dominant. The island loves their baseball. And Ray, you could even rebrand the team from the Oakland A's to the Oakland Lays. You can do the Lays, Ray. Look at that.
Good. That's actually, there's no way that would ever happen, but that's pretty good, Kyle. On the fly.
I'm giving away free marketing right here.
Good work.
Right on the show.
The plan is for them to stay here, but the fans hate them. I don't know if the city likes them. They can't. I mean, it's embarrassing. I don't know The plan
There's
is
a lot of land in Hawaii. Just think about the views, Ray, of the Pacific. It would put your crap ballpark in San Francisco to shame. Like, everybody thinks that's a good view.
Right.
They'd have like waterfalls and real palm trees and the Pacific Ocean.
People
Like,
trolling fire in the seventh
they
inning
would
stretch.
make the Giants Park look like, the vet in Philly. It would look that awful if they moved to Hawaii.
And then you go to your flip-flops or shorts. They serve Mai Tais. They give lays away. The first 5,000 fans, whatever.
Well, everybody in the chat room loves it. Every time I get a compliment, I don't bring it up on the show.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I don't want to be that guy.
Call, chat, enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Bettor Sports Network.
From fantasy advice and information to NFL bets, survivor leagues, and more, you're pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy on Bettor Sports Network.
Back to throw is Dalton looking to the end zone, and that is going to be a Saints touchdown. And that is going to be Chris Olave, his first NFL score as he leaps in London.
Wow. Chris Olave.
Did you see Latavius into the end zone there?
Yes, we are back pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy. Latavius Murray fell into the end zone. Just a 1 yard rush for a touchdown, which makes this a game. Minnesota 16 to New Orleans 14. Joe, you still feeling confident about that Vikings call that we made?
Yeah. I think the Vikings still win this. Oh, the cast of Ted Lasso is there. Everybody, if you're not watching Ted Lasso, please watch Ted Lasso. Third season's coming up. It's a great show.
And also shout out Saints Radio for that sound clip of the Olave touchdown. The Olave touchdown from Andy Dalton in the second quarter. That was fantastic. That's hype to listen to.
Yeah. So I made some moves in the break there with my rankings because I'm Fantasy Pros with their expert consensus ranking program. Shout out myself, I guess. I don't know. But
shout out myself.
I took Zay Jones out because he's not going to play today. But I moved 2 players up. I moved Marvin Jones up and I moved Travis Etienne up. And that's a little risky.
Really?
I moved him to wide receiver 30. Running back 33. Because I do think that with Zay Jones out, you might see Etienne being the one that catches those passes at the goal line today, which is what people were hoping he was going to be all season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really hope today is the day that we see some Travis Etienne. I'm going to be sad because I'm not expecting it. And so if he does go off, I'm probably benching him in a lot of leagues, which sucks. Because I've been the Etienne guy,
Absolutely. I would. I think the whole FYF crew was the Etienne guys this offseason, and it's been a little sad. We've been eating some humble pie.
We have. I'm still pretty optimistic, but I have been eating some humble pie on what he can be. Let's hit some of these questions before we get to the inactives here. Mike Williams or Javonte half PPR coming in from Texas Made 88. What do you think here, Joey?
Oh, 2 really good options. With Keenan Allen out, I think Mike Williams is a great start. But, everything we've heard this week is Melvin Gordon's not 100%. So Javonte Williams, this might be his breakout game. If the Denver offense is going to break out, today is going to be the day. I think I still might go Mike Williams, though.
Still going Mike Williams. I'm still also going Mike Williams. Herbert is good to go. It's good to go. So you got to fire up your Mike Williams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's hit some more of these inactives, Joey. On the Dolphins. Dolphins already played this week, so I don't want to hit them. Let's go with the Jets. The Jets. We got Denzel Mims is out, inactive this week. Shouldn't matter. Hopefully, you're not starting him with any of your fantasy teams. Almost all the Jets options here are actually not even worth mentioning. We'll get back to those. I'm not seeing any here that are really that fantasy relevant.
Zach Wilson starting today for the first time, so that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Oh, there we go.
We got some producers set. Cordero Patterson's active. Josh Reynolds active. Michael Gallup active. Dalton Schultz active. Gabe Davis is active. On the inactive list, David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Zay Jones, and Keenan Allen. So if you have any of those guys on your fantasy teams and you have not checked, I would go check. Just do a once over before your games. It'll be nice and easy. Joey, let's keep going through these inactives here, or these injuries from the games. Let's see. Jets and at Steelers, we talked about Zach Wilson. He's back. Are you like adjusting your expectations at all around Garrett Wilson and the other pass catching options in New York with Zach Wilson being back and Flacco not being the quarterback?
Yeah, I don't have Zach Wilson very high today at all. We haven't seen Garrett Wilson and Zach Wilson together. I think everyone is kind of hoping a Wilson to Wilson might be a cool thing to say and a connection that might happen, but we don't know that yet. So I think we probably will see more work out of Elijah Moore than we will Wilson today. But
yeah, we got a lot of Elijah Moore questions this week in our other streams. I'm fine starting Elijah Moore. He and Wilson, they had a decent rapport when they played, albeit a small sample size, but I think you're fine firing him up. Moving on to the Buffalo and Baltimore games. Game is at 1:00 here in Baltimore. Dawson Knox is questionable. I'm not playing Dawson Knox. I don't think you should be. You shouldn't have any confidence from his performance in the beginning of this year to throw Dawson Knox in your lineup. Gabe Davis is also questionable. Joe, are you confident playing Gabe Davis this week against that Baltimore defense, which has not been what we thought?
Yeah, so kind of like the Philadelphia game. How is the weather in Baltimore right now? Is it okay?
It's I'm just looking at my window. It's like it's a little overcast, windy. It's not currently raining, but it has been raining all weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I think you guys are getting the tail bottom part of that. If I know my geography, of Hurricane Ian, it's like tropical storm now. So I'm not as worried about the Baltimore Buffalo game as I am with the Philadelphia game. So yeah, I'm totally fine starting Gabe Davis today. I've got him outside my top 24 wide receivers. But by no means is that a bad thing. I mean, I have Stephon Diggs as my wide receiver too, overall this week. So
yeah, Maria described it best in the chat. Said it's dreary. It's very dreary here, and
does it look like London? Is it like the London game? But
kind of. I can't really see what the weather's like, because when it's like football cameras, it just, even if it's like pouring rain, sometimes it just won't even look like that. Yeah. So I can't tell what the sky looks like. As soon as they pan up, I'll tell you. On the Baltimore side of this, J.K. Dobbins is playing. He is playing. He was active last week. On the offensive tackle, Ronnie Stanley is out, so keep that in mind. And Kenyon Drake is out. What are you doing with this Baltimore backfield, Joe?
Man, I'll tell you what. I think Lamar's going to lead the team in rushing, and that's not a bold statement at all. It's hard for me to start J.K. Dobbins every week just because he's coming off that injury from a couple weeks ago. But I don't know how much confidence I have in him. I feel like this is Lamar. He's just going to run. He's going to throw. This is the Lamar show. And this is a tough matchup. I mean, Buffalo's defense is fantastic. Now, I think Lamar's going to get his work. He's going to get his points. It's going to be no problem. But J.K. Dobbins, I'm a little worried about today.
Yeah, I am too. I'm still in that wait and see motion for J.K. Dobbins. Buffalo is not the matchup that you want to test this out. Don't do the J.K. Dobbins experiment against Buffalo when it's, not great out. I guess that the weather doesn't affect Dobbins as much because likely they'd lean on him if the weather was really bad, but it doesn't matter. I'm not playing him this week. I'm gonna wait and see. Mm-hmm. Let's hit some of these questions before we get on to the next one. We got I don't know if we hit this one yet. We will find out though. Jay in here sitting Sutton or Deontay Johnson. PPR, full PPR, Sutton or Deontay Johnson.
It's going to be Sutton for me. Like I said, I think this might be the Russ game. Las Vegas has not looked as good as people thought they were going to be coming into it. Is it a divisional matchup? So sometimes you got to not throw everything out, but there's those, division rivalries. But yeah, it's Sutton for me here.
Sutton for you. Yeah, I'm going to go on the other side of this. I'm going to go Deontay Johnson. He's just been getting that volume. And against the Jets this week, I want Deontay Johnson. Hopefully, Sauce isn't on him the whole time.
Yeah.
He's been playing well. We got Nick asking, hey, what's up, guys? Saying, hey, need help with a flex spot. Antonio Gibson, Samuel Curtis, Romeo Doubs, Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, or Treylon Burks. So that was Antonio Gibson, Curtis Samuel. I think that's Curtis Samuel. It says S. Curtis.
That's probably Curtis Samuel. Let's just
probably
say it's
Curtis
Samuel.
Samuel. Yeah, I think they just mixed up first and last name. Romeo Doubs, Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, or Treylon Burks. For me, I'm going to go Antonio Gibson, and I'm going to go, Brandon Cooks or Doubs. I think I'd go Brandon Cooks. Gibson and Cooks. What do you
Cooks
think, Joey?
for me for sure. And then, man, give me Elijah Moore.
Give you Elijah Moore. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I like that. And then Jeremy Hickson asking Josh Palmer, Garrett Wilson. It's Garrett Wilson for me.
It's gonna be Joshua Palmer. I love his opportunity today.
Love it.
Keenan Allen out. It's Joshua Palmer for me, pretty confidently.
I love it. And Matt in here saying I'm 3-0 in fantasy. LOL.
Woo, congratulations.
Well done, Matt. Great start to the season. Who should I start at my flex? Richie James, Rashad Bateman, or Noah Brown? Thanks. I'm gonna go with Rashad Bateman here. Richie James is interesting because the Giants have no one there, but Rashad Bateman is that guy, and you drafted him to be that guy. If the Ravens pass this week, it's going to be Mark Andrews or it's going to be Rashad Bateman. So I got to start Rashad Bateman. Do you agree with me, Joey?
Full agreement.
And Coop in the chat saying, "Sup, guys? Love the show. First time caller, last time listener. Darnell Mooney or just leave the spot blank." Very good question, Coop. Very good question. We hope you never call in again. What do you think, Joey?
I just say leave the spot blank. Because if Mooney goes off, I want Coop to lose. So no, Coop, you play Mooney. You play Mooney.
Mooney.
I'm sure you probably have a better option though.
There's literally any other option. Literally, just pick one. Which is a good reminder, guys. Call in if you got a question. You want to call into the show. You want to hop up here and talk about your fantasy team, pre-game setup, or how hyped you are for the games. Hop on, talk to Joey and I. We'll be here for the next hour and 15 minutes talking football, getting you ready for your Week 4 fantasy matchups.
Speaking of Coop, SNL had a Grimace skit on last night, and I immediately went to the tweeter and was like, "Coop Grimace skit, let's go! Come on."
Coop Grimace skit.
It was very strange. Grimace was jacked. He had worked out in the off season, and he was like super muscular, and all the other McDonald's characters were like, "What happened to you?" So I thought of Coop immediately though.
You said which one you were going on the Matt one, and then we got a question from Jay in here saying CEH, Darnell Mooney, or Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson. I'm benching Mooney.
Yep.
I'm starting Ramondre Stevenson. Ooh, what are you starting, CEH or Ramondre Stevenson?
I'd probably start CEH. Oh man, I hate both those matchups. Tampa Bay and Green Bay are both great against the run. I'll start CEH. He's in the better offense.
That's totally fair. Better Boston here saying not a single Laviska Shenault mention. If you would have told me we wouldn't be focused on the unicorn in Week 4 pregame, I would have thought you were crazy. The Visca hype is real.
That Visca was a nice catch for him last week.
It was a nice catch. Is that his last catch ever, Joey? Is that what you're saying?
No, he'll have others, but
when
I'm not to a point where I'm starting Laviska Shenault in even probably
Laviska
a
Shenault
team league.
or Devontae Adams. Which are you starting?
Adams by a hair.
Okay, real question: Devin Duvernay or Laviska Shenault?
Devin Duvernay.
Khalif Raymond or Laviska Shenault?
Khalif Raymond.
I just want to find one, Joey. Just give me one.
Okay. I will give you the name.
Keenan Allen or
I would start Laviska Shenault over Sky Moore, Braxton Berrios, and Chris Moore. There's 3 players.
Those 3 players and only those 3 players.
No, there's others too, but that's like in my rankings. That's where Visca falls.
All right, that's fair.
Quintez Cephas in the Detroit game today, I would start over Laviska Shenault.
Quintez Cephas. Yeah, that player I have like, if that player ever succeeds, I'm going to be so mad because Simon, one day I was like, man, I got to drop a player on like our longest running dynasty league. And then I'm like, I don't know which one to do. Should I drop Quez Watkins or should I drop, someone else? Simon convinces me to drop Quez Watkins and then immediately picks him up off the waiver the next day. So I can't have Quez ever do well or else I'm going to never be happy with my life. We got Heavy T in here asking, hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. Should I go Breece Hall, Damian Pierce, or Javonte Williams? In the flex spot, it's half PPR. Which of these guys are you going with, Joey?
I'm going with Javonte. I think he's going to have a great game today. He's in my main FanDuel lineup. His price is pretty reasonable too. So yeah, it's Javonte for me. It goes like 7,000 for Javonte.
Yeah. Breece Hall is also interesting going against the Jets. I I think I would start Javonte, then Breece Hall, then Dameon Pierce in that order. In that order, we got some more questions in here that we can hit. Let's hit them. Lennox asking Pittman, Javonte Williams, or Devin Singletary. Michael Pittman, Javonte Williams, or Devin Singletary. Which of those guys are you going with, Joey?
Singletary's the outlier in this one for me. But between Pittman and Javonte, man, Pittman, he's a top 10 wide receiver this week. Javonte's a top 12 running back. Man, I think Pittman feels like the safer play. He could have a lot more work. So I'll go Pittman here.
You go with Pittman. I'm going Pittman as well.
Yeah.
It's
a great decision to have, though. I like your two options there. I don't think you're really going to go wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Let's get into some more of these. This injury report, Joey. Where do we leave off? We left off at Buffalo, at Baltimore. We said Dawson Knox questionable, Gabe Davis questionable. J.K. Dobbins is going to play. Let's move on to the Arizona at Carolina game. That was confusing. Arizona at Carolina. AJ Green is out. Rondale Moore is questionable. Is expected to play. So keep an eye on that with Greg Dortch. Marquis Brown is questionable, dealing with a foot injury, but expected to play. JJ Watt is questionable, but expected to play. And then CMC is questionable, but expected to play according to Ian Rappaport. May not be 100%, but it's going to be a game time decision. They're going to make a decision during warmups, so you have to keep an eye on that. Yeah. Speaking of that, we had a question come in from FYF YouTube chat. If CMC is active but limited, do I dare start James Conner over CMC with the potential of re-injury? I'm okay doing this. I'm okay if you want to start James Conner over CMC. I am. If CMC is playing, I have to play him in my lineup. That's just how CMC works in fantasy. It's what you have to do. James Conner is not that far off, though, in terms of value that he can provide this week, and he's also dealing with an injury, so there's just as much risk there. But I'm fine if you want to start that. If you feel like the risk is less, then that's okay. I personally am going to go CMC though.
Yeah, I'm starting CMC, even in a limited role. But
even in a limited role,
he's limited.
CMC?
Have they said he's limited?
No,
okay.
No. But
I thought
Rapport said it may not be 100%. See it?
My hair fell down, and I said, "What happened?" Oh,
I thought you cut out or something.
No. I was like, "Whoa, what happened there?"
Oh, is that a Taysom Hill run?
Oh boy, here he goes.
Here he goes. He's 7, right? He's number 7.
Yep.
Taysom freaking Hill.
All the players changing their numbers has really confused me this year. But Taysom Hill, he stayed pat with 7. So good job, Taysom Hill.
Stayed pat. He definitely stayed pat.
Stand pat.
Stayed pat.
Oh boy. Let's say Jets game going to be ugly. Off? Rained in Pittsburgh all day yesterday. Pittsburgh played.
They have Keith saying Jets game going to be ugly. That's true every week, Keith. You don't need to come in and tell us that the Jets game is going to be ugly. We know. Jay Phil in here asking, guys, start. You got to start 6. That doesn't make sense. Start Dobbs, Matt Collins, Rashad Bateman, or Palmer. What do you think, Joey? With your Palmer love, is it enough to have you start him over Bateman, Collins, and Dobbs?
I'm going to check on Bateman. I have Palmer ahead of Bateman, so yeah, I would start Palmer.
You start Palmer over Bateman.
Palmer. Wow. I'm gonna die. I guess I'm gonna die on that sword today.
On the Palmer Hill, yeah.
I've got Palmer is my wide receiver 30. So I'm not super. I guess I'm high on him, but I'm not like astronomically high on him. Maybe that is too high.
We got Steel City PA asking Miles Sanders or Greg Dortch flex PPR. Miles Sanders for me. It is not even close. Rondale Moore, we just mentioned Rondale Moore is going to be playing in this game. You have to wait and see what Greg Dortch does with Rondale Moore back. The role that he is currently playing in that offense it belongs to Rondale Moore. He's a second round rookie pick. Or, I'm sorry, a second round draft pick. He's not a rookie. He's a sophomore. He is dealing with this injury, so I'm not saying Dortch is not going to be involved at all, but I can't trust him at this point. Not with Moore coming back, right, Joey?
Fully agree.
We got a guest coming on in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We have Fernando Ramirez coming on, so stay tuned for that.
I think Taylor Mathis is coming on first. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. So Taylor Mathis is coming on first. That'll be our first guest coming on shortly. So make sure you're staying tuned.
Yeah.
Joe, let's get on to the next one. We got let's see. New England at Green Bay. Ooh, was that a touchdown? No.
Was it?
Adam Troutman.
Troutman. All right,
He
give
was
the ball to
close.
Ingram. Save me from all those people asking me if they should start Ingram this morning.
Yes, please. Please. For me.
He just ran the last run for them, so and then he's still in the game. Come on, Mike Ingram. Let's do this for me today. Yeah.
Come on. Did you say Mike Ingram?
I might have. I've got a stuffy
Ingram.
nose.
I can tell. I can hear it.
Yeah. Sound kind of deep
Chris-
though. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a little sexy. We got Kristen here asking Josh Palmer, Josh Reynolds, Juju Smith-Schuster, Gallup, Rondell Moore, pick 2, non-PPR. So it's a non-PPR, or some people call standard format. Josh Palmer, Josh Reynolds, Juju, Gallup, or Rondell Moore. You're picking 2, Joey. What do you think?
It's gonna be Reynolds and Palmer for me. Oh, Taysom Hill just got that touchdown, didn't he?
Oh, Taysom got it. Yeah, Taysom Hill, 2-yard rush.
Oh,
Oh
Taysom Hill.
no! And this puts the Saints above the Vikings by 1 point. Freaking Taysom Hill, man.
Well, Kirk Cousins. See if we like that today.
Let's see if we like that today. Oh my God, Taysom Hill. Maria said, I believe I'm playing Joey this week. Who's winning?
Probably her.
Probably.
I've had a bad year. I drafted a lot of Allen Robinson, a lot of Brandon Cooks, and a lot of DJ Moore. So I am getting it real bad this year.
Yeah, I've had some bad luck on some of my leagues. Some of my leagues I'm doing great, but some of them, like my Scott Fishbowl league, terrible.
Yeah.
Just like none of the bets I took are paying off. Oh, and then they just got the 2-point conversion. Woo! Landry was
There it
wide
is.
open.
I
in
knew
the
he'd be in
corner
the
of
end zone today. I was hoping he'd have 6 points instead of 2, but
It
I'll
was
take
just a
what I can get.
2-pointer, but Joey, do you
Well, I
play
think he gets 3 for 2
for the
point
catch in
conversion.
PPR?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Awesome.
I think you're right.
Mhm.
Do you is that your preferred? I know some leagues have different preferences there, like 2 minutes versus or 2 points for a 2-point conversion or not. Are you a fan of that in fantasy?
Yeah, if they get the 2-point conversion, if they get the
They deserve it.
if they conversion reception, yeah, they should get that, and they get them the point for the reception too.
All right, we got Super CMB challengers in here asking ugly situation.
Ugly situation.
But PPR, Cam Akers, Michael Carter, Damian Harris. What do you think, Joey?
I'll go Cam Akers there for the first time this
Really?
year. I'll say Cam Akers' name on the show. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think I would
what
go
was-
Michael Carter.
I have them bunched up. I've got Akers, wide receiver 33, Damian Harris, wide receiver 34, and Michael Carter, running back 35. Was he looking at my rankings? That's what I'm wondering right now, because I literally have them back to back to back.
He probably was. He probably was looking right at your rankings when he asked.
I would like to.
So you're going Cam Akers. I'm going Michael Carter on that one. And then you have follow-up question. Also pick 2, Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams, or Christian Kirk, PPR. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. We love the questions. Keep the questions coming in because we're going to keep trying to answer them leading up to your 1 p.m. start times. Joey, what do you think about this one? Pick 2, Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams, or Christian Kirk.
It's going to be Johnson and Mike Williams for me.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams. Oh, and it's tough. I think I would go Mike Williams, Christian Kirk, actually. This one. Mike Williams, Christian Kirk. But we got the Mike Williams locked in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I don't dislike Kirk a whole lot today. I mean, I still think he'll get work.
Yeah. And I like him as well, clearly, because I picked him. We got another question. Full PPR, Mike Williams or Gabe Davis? I think Joey.
Mike Williams. Yeah.
Mike Williams for me.
With Gabe Davis, like, okay, yeah, I see him as a wide receiver 2 on Buffalo. But Isaiah McKenzie has really shown me that he's going to be a part of this offense this year, and I think that kind of caps Gabe Davis's work a little bit. Stephon Diggs is going to get his work. He's going to be there every week. But I've really liked what I've seen from Isaiah McKenzie, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
maybe this is the Gabe Davis game though.
All right. You're listening to Pre-Gaming with Front Yard Fantasy here on the Bettor Sports Network. Right after this, we got Taylor Mathis, host reporter for Superbook Sports and betting analyst at FTN Network, joining us to talk about some bets that she likes, parlay she likes parlay or two, and to keep talking through these inactives and answering all your start sit questions from now until game time. Stay tuned.
Bettor Sports Network is betting, fantasy, collectibles. It's sports talk done better.
First rule of negotiating, you got to have something to bargain with.
I feel like when it comes to trading in fantasy sports, there's too much emphasis and focus on getting the best player in the deal. It does not work like that. If you could get a player that secures you some depth, fills a hole, then you win. More than one person in a trade can win. But people just obsess, and then bad offers come where it's totally stacked. Like those crappy offers, Ron, where, yeah, you're getting the best player in the deal, but you're offering 5 other fringe players, thinking that combined they make up for that. Who deals with that crap? I see those trades, Ron, and when I'm seeing a 3-for-1, 4-for-1, 4-for-2, you know that you're getting someone's leftovers at this point for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, usually they're trying to give you a bunch of players to make it seem like they're giving you surplus and quantity instead of quality. So, got to be careful with that. You could technically lose a deal on paper, but it helps your team improve. That's always what you're trying to do. Everyone's looking to tell everyone, "Oh, look what I did! I ripped this guy off." It's about improving your team. If you have two really good quarterbacks, it's hard to trade a quarterback. Now, what I would do is if I somehow made a foolish mistake of drafting 2 quarterbacks in the first 10 rounds, or even the first 7 rounds, what I've seen many people do, and they're 2 good ones, is I look and be like, okay, does the Dak Prescott manager have a backup? Maybe he doesn't. Then I do all I can to trade. Now, you're probably not going to get proper return, because if that guy with Prescott is smart, he'd be like, well, why am I going to trade a receiver or running back? I can just go to the waiver wire, pick up Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Marcus Mariota, whoever it is. So that's the reason why that's a situation where you might lose the deal, but you're holding on to a guy that you can't really start most weeks. So you might as well make the deal. So you technically might be losing, thinking like, wow, I'm trading a QB1, but it's not doing much good for you on the bench. And if you're like, well, I'm just keeping this guy in case Josh Allen gets hurt, well, you're playing scared, and that's not a way to win.
The Playbook with Fensty and Ronis, presented by FantasyAlarm.com.
Pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy.
Welcome back to the Pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy show leading up to the 1 p.m. games here on the Bettor Sports Network. The Vikings are currently driving down the field. Kirk Cousins is about to get the ball, and we are about to be joined by Taylor Mathis, who is a host reporter at Superbook Sports and betting analyst at FTN Network. Taylor, are you with us? Ooh, maybe not yet. She'll be joining us shortly. No worries there, Joey. While we wait for Taylor, why don't we hit some more of these questions? Anuna asking us. Actually, I skipped AJ's question. Let's hit AJ's. Should I start? Pick one: DK, Tyler Lockett, or Rashad Bateman? So DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, or Rashad Bateman this week?
It's going to be Tyler Lockett for me. I mentioned earlier that I do like Lockett and Metcalf today. So I'm totally fine starting either of them.
Yeah, I think those are the 2 options. Two options with but you're only picking one. So which of those 2 would you pick?
Lockett.
Ben,
Lockett.
You said Lockett. Okay. I think I would go DK. For the upside. I think Lockett is totally fair. They're very, very close in my rankings this week. And asked, is Patterson going to be be on a limited workload this week? That was a follow-up question from AJ. I think it's possible. This matchup is positive for Patterson, but they could limit him given his age and the workload they have been giving him. I don't expect that. I wouldn't predict that, but I think that it is possible. What do you think, Joe?
I mean, anytime somebody is questionable coming into the week, my thought is if they put them on the field, they're ready to go. So unless they're the Miami Dolphins, but I shouldn't make that joke, but it's terrible. Sorry. Just
never
right
too
off
soon.
The tongue
Never
there.
too soon.
Yeah.
Right off the top. No, but not so bad. Joe asking if CMC is active but limited. Do I dare? Oh, do we already hit that one?
Yeah, we hit that one.
Yeah, we hit that one already. Mm-hmm. The do I dare really? Not many people come and ask that. Back to Anuna's question: who should I play at flex? Marquis Brown, Alan Lazard, AJ Dillon, or Rashad Bateman? Do you think I should sit AJ Brown due to weather? due to weather this week? That is a good question.
Man, it's gonna be hard for me to say AJ Brown. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league right now. I love his situation in Philadelphia, and yeah, I think Maria in the chat said it looks like a slip and slide in Philadelphia. There's nobody I'd rather have slip and sliding with the ball right now than AJ Brown in Philadelphia.
Slip and sliding with the ball. I'm not sitting AJ Brown. I don't think you can, even in bad weather. You're starting him, and then starting at the flex position. I think I'd go AJ Dillon out of that group. Which one did you pick, Joey?
So I said I would go AJ Brown, but who was she needs a flex as well?
The question was, who should I play at flex? Marquis Brown, Alan Lazard, AJ Dillon, or Rashad Bateman? And I changed my answer because I forgot Marquis Brown was in there, but I'm starting Marquis Brown.
It might be Marquis Brown for me. For some reason I thought you just said AJ Brown I'll go Marquis Brown because I have them close enough in my rankings that if I have to pick one, I'll go with the player that's got the field that's not a slip and slide.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And yeah, Marquis Brown, he got 18 targets last week? Insane.
Ridiculous.
Something like that. Something insane like that. You got to start Marquis Brown right now. The Joker asking who to start for flex PPR, full PPR, Jeff Wilson Jr., Rashad Penny, or Ramondre Stevenson.
I like Rashad Penny this week. Detroit, I believe they give up the most points to running backs in the league. I'm gonna double check my note there that I put on there. Yeah, Detroit gives up the most fantasy points to running backs. So it's a great matchup for Rashad Penny. It's Penny for me.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'm going Jeff Wilson. I think I'm going Jeff Wilson over Rashad Penny, over Ramondre Stevenson, but that is close. That is close. Rashad Penny might be the right move with I didn't even consider that the matchup was so good for Penny.
Yeah, that's
honestly all three of those guys have been.
Yeah.
And we got Nick Durst in the chat. What up, Nick? Said any worries about Graham Gano kicking today in the bad weather? He's been the Giants' whole offense this season. Yeah. Kickers are very affected by weather games. I don't know that I don't have the wins currently pulled up. But maybe Joey, if you want to look into that as we keep going here, that'll be the most important factor, I think, for these kickers. That Giants offense is we talked about it earlier, but the wide receiver core is severely injured. So I don't know there's gonna be a ton of kicking opportunities for Graham Gano today, even if the weather wasn't a factor. So I'm not starting Graham Gano in any of my leagues. Are you, Joey? Are you confident? Is Graham Gano maybe a sneaky kicker play?
No, not for me. No. 12 miles an hour are the winds.
That seems high.
Terrible.
No, it doesn't seem the worst, but 12 is definitely higher than 0. That's for sure. And then DJ asking, would you trade Ezekiel Elliott and Chris Godwin for Dameon Pierce and Rashad Bateman? You've been the Pierce guy, Joey, on the show.
Yeah, I probably would still hold on to that Zeke side.
Still holding on to the Zeke side?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am too. Zeke Godwin's about to come back. Oh no.
Oh no. What?
Adam Thielen just missed a touchdown pass in the end zone, but it
looks
like it's going to be pass interference though.
Yeah.
It was almost intercepted. It was this close to getting intercepted.
And Adam Thielen pointed to the New Orleans Saints fans and said, "You're number one.
You're number one. Suck it."
Yeah.
Suck it. All right, we got
they're in London, so it's not the normal Saints.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
They probably have a much fancier insult to use. Oh my God, Williams just missed that. I don't know how he missed that. It looked like he was tracking it. He had the beat on that pass.
How do you feel about that Saints helmet with the little dots down the middle? Have you looked at it? It's beautiful.
I haven't been looking at it.
It's very shiny. I kind of want to take a bite out of it. Who has the most edible helmet in the NFL? I feel like the New York Giants looks like an apple, or the New York Jets looks like a
Giants blue apple.
It's like a candy apple.
That would be a pretty gross green apple. I'm not gonna lie. Like that green, that deep green. Maybe the Vikings. They have a pretty eatable helmet, like a grape. Oh, he kind of grabbed a face mask. Thielen was just getting. He was all over himself, man. He's just tripping up.
I just wanted to see what his mouth guard looked like. He's like, let me see what that looks like.
All right, let's get some more of these questions while we continue. KFL Extinct asking Ayuk or DK, or before actually DK. So DK Metcalf or Josh Reynolds. Let's start there. Which of those two guys are you starting?
Okay, I will start DK Metcalf over Josh Reynolds. They're not far apart, but I'll go DK.
You're gonna go DK. I'm gonna go
Justin
DK
Jefferson
as well.
touchdown.
Justin Jefferson touchdown.
He had a little dance.
Yeah, a little dance in the end zone.
You know what? No, I think his shoelaces were tied together, and I think he was
that's what it was. He's like, why is this happening?
All right, so the Vikings go back up. All right,
Vikings go back up. We got 4 minutes 15 seconds left in this game. Vikings are up 25-22 against the Saints. 25-22 against the Saints. And while we keep going and keep getting closer to the 1 p.m. kickoff, let's hit some more of these questions. So we left off DK Metcalf or Josh Reynolds. We both went DK Metcalf, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Ayuk or DK Metcalf? It's still going to be DK Metcalf for me. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Team Out of Nowhere asks start to full PPR, Juju, Gabe Davis, Cam Akers, or Ramondre Stevenson. What do you think, Joey?
Davis and Ramondre for me.
Yeah. Gabe. Yeah, you can't. I'm not starting Gabe this week if I can help it. You went Akers, Ramondre?
No, I went Gabe Davis and Ramondre. Oh God, I'm leaving.
What's up, guys? Simon, sorry I missed the start of the show. I was organizing my Pokemon cards and polishing my decorative orbs. But I'm ready. I'm ready for the show now. How we doing, guys?
No worries. We're happy to have you here, Simon Grunewald joined the show. If you haven't watched the show before, this is clearly Simon Grunewald, resident poop expert. Simon, how's your games going so far? How's your Sunday going?
How about that Clemson?
How about that Clemson? beat them NC State.
Yeah. Simon, do you have any Kenyon Drake stories for us today?
Most of my Kenyon Drake stories, I put those away with my collection of hotel key cards that I keep. I have over 5,000 of them. So I actually don't have any for you today. I do have Darnell Mooney in 15 lineups, if that matters to you guys. But I'm just ready for a great show. Smash that fun button.
Smash that fun button for Simon. You firing up Darnell Mooney this week?
Got to. I mean, look at that route participation. I mean, he's run 17 routes. I mean, that's almost half of the times they've thrown. You got to get him in there.
Got to. Yeah. If you are completely confused, this is Coop, aka Andrew Cooper, our friend, our co-host on the FYF morning show, joining us for the last hour of the FYF, the pregame with FYF show today. Thanks for joining us, Coop.
I actually did take my contacts out, so I do have to wear these glasses for the remainder.
Okay, it was as a joke, but now it's completely serious.
I usually think you look dumb as anything, but you look kind of smart right now, so that's good.
Yeah, kind of smart, dude. Even though I told everyone to start Juwan Johnson, he's not doing anything. But
he is not.
That was on the other show. That was on the 9 to 11 show. On this show, or 9 to 10.
That show.
We don't.
This is a whole new show. Whole new show,
dude. Whole new me.
Juwan Johnson, 2 receptions on 7 for 17 yards. I don't know why I had so much trouble getting that out. 3 targets. That's
not ideal. But I mean, that's the risk when you bring in a backup quarterback. Like, he's throwing it to Adam Trotman, who's probably the guy he's been throwing to in practice, right? So that's kind of
Marquez Callaway's leading the receptions or leading yards and receptions right now. I mean,
all right. Well, while we're waiting for our guest,
exactly though, Joey, that's what happens. They throw it to the guy they practice with, right? Like Noah Brown and Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
that's how it works. They throw in 2 Cooper Rush.
I mean, I'm just a guest on this show, so I don't have to get things right. Okay?
That's true. You just say whatever you want. That's how I feel all the time, except for when they make me host. Let's hit some of these questions while we wait. Coop, I'm going to throw to you first since you just got here. Mordheim asking Rondell Moore, Greg Dortch, or Chris Godwin, half PPR. Which one are you starting this week?
Wow, that's dicey, man. I was watching the show earlier. I 100% agree with what you said about Greg Dortch in that he was playing the Rondell Moore role. So when you get Rondell Moore in, you can't trust him. But at the same time, we don't even know if that's going to be split. So I think I would honestly just roll the dice with Chris Godwin. If he's playing, he's playing. Like, you run the risk of him getting hurt and playing a partial snap share. But Greg Dortch and Rondell Moore are probably both going to be playing partial snap shares too, right?
Yeah.
Put it this way. Are you going to start hurt Rondell Moore or hurt Chris Godwin?
I'm going to start Chris Godwin. Hurt Chris Godwin.
There you go. Boom.
Nice and easy. All right, guys, we are bringing on host reporter from Superbook Sports, betting analyst on FTN Network. Our friend Taylor Mathis is joining the show to give us some of her favorite bets, parlay she likes this week, and a game that she is avoiding in week 4, making bets on. Taylor, are you with us?
Hello. Looks like I am.
Oh, no.
You sound like you're on a spaceship, Taylor.
Taylor's space.
We're having major technical issues on my end.
It actually sounds, man. If it didn't sound so horrifying, it would be kind of cool.
But I mean, it is October, so like Halloween, so it's actually kind of works.
Yeah, it's very spooky.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
All right, we'll try and bring you back, Taylor. Sorry about this. Sorry about all the technical issues.
I wanted to get one
spooky
fault. Take. I wanted to get one spooky vision take before.
Yeah, we needed one spooky take. Maybe when we bring her back, we'll ask her for one Halloween spooky take.
Cole, come back.
Oh, it's so spooky.
Wait, no, it's scary. Scary Terry would be her recommendation.
Oh, that seems like the obvious one that we should have all thought of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of more scary players, and I can't.
That's pretty hard.
I mentioned some scary players earlier, DJ Moore and Brandon Cooks and Allen Robinson on a lot of my teams. That's pretty scary. It's been very horrifying to wake up to every Monday and seeing like goose eggs everywhere.
Yeah, Maria in the chat. Any Giants? Yeah, absolutely spooky. Except for Saquon, obviously. But any Giants pass catchers across the board, spooky.
Are you? So we talked about it, but I want to get your take on it. What are you doing with the Giants? Is Saquon the only guy you can start, or are you going to take a shot on Richie James or one of these other guys?
Only guy you can start. But in DFS, given the crazy uncertainty, I do like mixing the guys in. Like I mentioned this morning, I'm throwing a Tanner Hudson in a GBP lineup. He's already in there. He's free on every platform, and he's actually run the most routes of any tight end on that team very quietly. Played more wide receiver snaps than Daniel Bellinger. It's probably a terrible play. But if he does hit, I'm the only person doing it, and he's probably the only tight end, that's free, 2,500 on DraftKings, free on FanDuel, that has a shot, in my opinion, of doing anything. So, a little sneaky play there for the folks at home.
You have to do that in DFS. You have to do that in DFS to separate yourself. Throw in a guy like that. Throw in one of those guys who they have an incredible week, and boom, you're a bajillionaire.
Is our boss Matt, Bettor boss? Is he the biggest Richie James fan in the entire world? Because
I don't know, but he's certainly the biggest Khalif Raymond fan. That's for sure. Because he was in here earlier touting his Khalif Raymond. But Bettor boss asking, what more can Richie Games do? I like that. We should start calling him Richie Games.
If you could go to Green Bay. If you start Khalif Raymond, Richie James, and Daniel Hudson in a lineup, you can literally start whoever you want at the other time. Like you can start
free.
Yeah, you can start free. Just the top priced guy at every position and have money left over.
And still have a ton of cash left over. Oh no, Lave.
Oh, did he get another touchdown?
No, he's so close to like a 30-yard reception. It's good D though. Good coverage. No Lave.
He caught a touchdown. Nice. I shouldn't say that about him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
some Lave.
Guys, if you are enjoying this, make sure you stay tuned even after this show ends. We're live till 1:00, but after that, you got 1 to 5 Better Zone with Corey, Adam, and Tom. It is fantastic. I'm serious. It's like Red Zone, but with Corey hosting. Why wouldn't you want that? Corey Parson. He's the man. Dude. And then 5 to 8.
He cracks me up, man.
He does.
No matter what he says about FYF, anything. Corey's awesome.
Just ignore everything he says about FYF.
That's
Nando doing our intro? Is that Nando's voice?
For this show? That's Nando's voice, yeah.
It's very soothing.
Yeah, that's Nando. Nando's another one. He's got that good like New York accent, just talk about anything, a deep voice, that radio voice.
It's a smooth New York accent. It's not like like an annoying New York. It's like,
it's not in your face, not abrasive. But yeah, 5 to 8 Eastern time, we got Better Zone. It's going to continue with Holden Kushner and Pilar Lastra. And then tomorrow, join Coop, Simon, and myself on the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show, 7 to 10 a.m. We'll be recapping all the games. We'll be talking football, talking hogs of the week, logs of the week, hog talk, little hog talk.
Hogs and the logs of the week. That should be a segment, dude.
It should be, if it isn't already.
Hogs and Juwan Johnson, a log so far.
Log.
Taysom Hill, annoyingly a hog.
Yeah. Yeah, Taysom Hill, like he's the perennial annoying hog of the week. He's always Always dog. All right, let's hit some more of these questions. Chris in here, half PPR. Pick 2. Brandon Cooks, Terry McLaurin, or Drake London. Which 2 are you going with this week, Joey?
I'm definitely going London. I love everything I've seen out of Drake London this year. Might be my favorite rookie wide receiver. And then who are my other 2 I have to choose between? Cooks and
the other 2 are Cooks, McLaurin, and London. So Cooks and
Terry
McLaurin.
Yeah, Cooks. Like I said, I'm scared of this Dallas game for Terry.
How about you, Coop?
I'm in the same boat, dude. I like you got to get Drake London in there. I'm pretty close on McLaurin. I kind of like him, but I'm gonna go with Joey on this one. I believe in him.
I believe in you, Coop.
Ooh, lots of believing going on. Lots of
friends out here.
Coop and I get at each other a lot, but
it's all good fun though. It's like Corey Parsons with this show. Yeah, we're mortal enemies. We definitely don't text or talk or consider it a behind the scenes inside joke. But yeah, no, I hate that guy.
Hate that guy.
Hope that microphone hits you in the head. All right.
It has twice. So.
Already. I would go McLaurin and Drake London in that as well. So we're with you. Do you start Mariota over Jalen Hurts this week? Who are you starting? Do you have the cojones to start Marcus Mariota, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, over Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Eagles this week?
That's getting too cute for me. Yeah. Especially because Jalen Hurts should be able to run still, and that's why we like him. That's what gives him such a good floor. So I'm going to stick with Hurts here. I can't go that far. Maybe as a tiebreaker, the weather, but I can't go that deep.
Yeah. That's too big of a gap.
I made a statement earlier that there's no one else I would rather see slip and slide on the field than AJ Brown. Actually, it's Jalen Hurts. There's no one else I'd rather see slip and slide safely.
He would be delightful
and not
just
get
smiling.
hurt. Yeah.
That little rascal.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is it. So is he the MVP this year so far?
For fantasy, I think so.
Lamar Jackson, maybe. Lamar Jackson's been kind of a wagon. He's scoring like 5 touchdowns every week. You know,
that's true. Yeah, Lamar deserves it.
Kind of hard to ignore that dude. You know,
I almost hit a car when you said wagon. That guy's a wagon for the first time last week on the show. I was laughing so hard. My kids were like, "What's wrong with you, Daddy?" I'm like, "Coop's funny." He's driving he's very funny.
He's driving the hog wagon, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to some of these other questions. Dylan or Connor this week? What do you guys think? AJ Dillon or James Conner?
James Conner, yeah.
Oh, Patriots actually, surprisingly, the one thing they do well is they got a pretty decent run defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're all on the Connor side of that. Ayuk, Dobbs, Jerry Jeudy, or Damian Harris. Pick one for PPR this week.
It's going to be Ayuk for me with those names, unless I missed one. Yeah. I'm not starting Dobbs over Ayuk.
Ayuk, Dobbs, Jerry Jeudy, or Damian Harris.
Just one of them?
Yep.
Oh, man. That's kind of tough, dude. Why do I want to start Jerry Jeudy
back to back? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why I want to start him, but I do. I think I'd rather start Jeudy. I think I'd rather start Jeudy with Kittle being back.
Okay.
Jeudy with Kittle being back.
I get that.
Yeah. That's totally fair. All right, guys, we're going to try one more time to bring our friend Taylor up on the stage here to come tell us about some bets that she likes. If you missed it just shortly ago, she is a host reporter for Superbook Sports, betting analyst at FTN Network. Taylor's joining us. How are you doing today, Taylor?
I can't hear you guys.
No.
Oh, you sound great, though.
You sound fantastic.
I don't know.
Alien spaceships. Oh, no.
We send her smoke signals or something?
Yeah. I don't know ASL. I wish I did.
Yeah.
But I guess that would require her to also
Jerry
know
Jeudy,
ASL.
yes or no?
Yes or no?
This is great radio.
This is fantastic.
Can she see the chat? She probably doesn't.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we'll get Taylor back another time. Fortunately, we're dealing with some technical issues over here. But she will be back. Dalvin Cook. And while we were talking, the Saints, they got a field goal. They caught up. This game is now tied 25-25, minute 45 left. This is super exciting. I think getting the game in the chat said this is probably the best game London has even hosted. Probably right. Usually they send the bad ones down there.
You take Jacksonville out of London and you get some good teams on there, I guess.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville's good. That's terrible. The first time Jacksonville's actually, they're playing well and they could have sent them to London. No, we're going to keep them here now.
Let's hit some more of these questions. Chargers against Texans.
Oh, sorry.
I get it.
Justin Jefferson.
What happened?
Probably about a 30-yard reception. He was running so fast I couldn't track the yardage.
So he's still good, huh?
Just a bit.
Yeah, turns out.
Turns out.
Anybody
that was a
get
tight throw too.
Turns out when you're not being covered by Jeff Okudah, just fine. And hey, you know what? Yeah, it's awesome that we get the 25-25 game for London. They deserve it, you know?
Yeah, they needed it. You guys see how close Lattimore was covering him too? Yeah. Well done.
Lattimore, good player.
Really good player. Really good player. Nice throw. Great gate throw.
Good
All
sports.
Right. So Chargers against Texans or Cardinals defense against the Panthers. Which one would you guys rather have? Chargers or Cardinals this week?
Kind of. Cardinals against Panthers. Oh, that's pretty. That's close enough. I actually have to pull up my real rankings.
What do you think, Joey?
One more time. I just saw that news about JJ.
I have the Chargers. I have the Chargers ahead.
You got the Chargers over the Cardinals this week?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's the Texans, so it's like they also have the floor of playing the Texans. I know the Chargers can be run against, so Dameon Pierce is kind of the one dude I do like from that matchup, but Chargers should win pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joey Bosa hurt. That certainly moves them down a little. Chargers here as well.
Absolutely. Did you see the JJ Watt announcement?
It looks like JJ Watt is playing according to himself. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that it's himself that's saying that?
Yeah. JJ Watt said, I was just told somebody leaked some personal information. Oh, it went away. About me, and it's going to be reported on today. I went into AFib on Wednesday and had my heart shocked back into rhythm on Thursday, and I'm playing today. That's it.
Whoa.
Jeez.
That's pretty heavy stuff.
That's
man.
scary.
That's
very heavy stuff. Why is he playing today?
I stood behind JJ Watt's mom at Starbucks at Disney World. And she was very, very sweet. The one that's on the Subway commercials. Yeah.
So you're kind of an authority. You're kind of an authority.
Yeah, I know a lot about the Watt family. Brothers. No, but I mean, like, I hope he's okay. I cannot believe he's going to step on the field this week.
That's pretty insane.
Players play, man. That's the thing. Some of these guys have that warrior hog mentality. Like Brandon Cooks said, he's like, people were like, are you going to retire because of concussions? He's like, I'm never going to retire.
Never, ever.
I mean, like, he's like, it's not even, I never even thought about it. Like Chris Conti said the same thing. He's like, I'm a warrior. So like, I play I'm a football player. So JJ Watt's a football player. If he can play, he'll play. He's had a lot of injuries, a lot of issues in the past, but if he wants to play and the doctors say he can play, well, who are we to say that he shouldn't?
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fair. And while we're talking defense here, Cash's stylist came in. What up, Cash? Or Cash's stylist, I guess. I always call you Cash, but I guess that's not technically right. Y'all like the Browns D or Eagles D today? You guys think Browns defense or Eagles defense today? Browns have why can't I pull it up here?
Eagles,
Atlanta. And what was the other one?
Yeah. We'll go with the Eagles, yeah.
Eagles,
the Browns,
right.
they in our minds, the Browns should crush the Falcons, but Vegas doesn't see it like that, right? You look at it and it's like a 1.5 point spread. So might not be the game that we think it's going to be. The Eagles game, it's going to be wet, slipping around. The Jaguars, although they are better now, right? Still a team I could see turning the ball over a couple times. Darius Slay, James Bradbury. Yeah, give me the Eagles.
Eagles, yeah. Unanimous Eagles on this side. Guys, we are going to be back shortly. If you haven't already, make sure you download the free Bettor Sports Network app. You can register and click and then hit join the show. You can call in, come talk to us, enter contests. It's going to be a ton of fun. Come tell us about your lineups. You got fantasy start sit questions for this week. Call in right after the break. We're here till 1 o'clock, us, and then they're going to be followed by a bunch of other great content, great shows right after this. So stay tuned with us.
Talk about your picks, your fantasy teams, and your sports collectibles on Bettor Sports Network.
By the way, if you are a commissioner out there, if someone does not pay, that's on you at the end of the day. It sucks. That's why you have to get the money early, because if they don't pay, it's on you. You don't change the prize. A winner shouldn't be impacted because unfortunately you messed up as commissioner. And I've been caught with this before. I've made this mistake. It sucks, and I had to go out of pocket for it. You learn that maybe some of your friends should not be in that league. But Roan, we see it all the time with commissioner issues, and I can't stress it enough that when it comes down to league payment, it's on the commissioner if they don't have everybody's entry fee and someone decides to ghost them.
Yeah, I had to collect 36 entry fees this year. All of them were collected except one. And it was one of my friends who said he was going to pay the second. I forgot to remind him. He might even be listening, but I know he's going to pay. If not, I know where he lives. But nah, he'll pay. But yeah, I mean,
big brother Adam Rodas over here.
And even the guy that I've talked about before that usually always pays me at the end, he actually paid on time this time. He usually is like, I'll pay you on Friday, and then it doesn't come, and then it's 4 months later. And he always winds up paying. That's why I don't really get upset. But you've seen my emails. I don't play around. Like,
no.
This is the date. This is the date. You get it in by then. And I always, too, I'm like, the draft order will be determined when everyone pays. Right. So don't hit me up about the draft order. Once everyone pays, then the draft order will be done. And anyone who's been in this league, now Fetsky can't attest to this because he's never won money in my league, but the people who do win, they get it right away. Usually the next day or two. Just make sure the scoring, especially with football, no scoring changes, as long as it's not like a point victory, half a point, and then they'll get the money right away.
What about 2 points?
Yeah, I mean, wait it out just in case something crazy happens. I guess I don't wait till Thursday when the official scoring happens.
Yeah, man. I mean, a championship that I was in years ago got reversed, and I ended up winning on a Thursday stat correction.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. You hope it doesn't come down to that. If you're on the better end of that, it's great. But man, imagine thinking you won, you got the money, and then it changes. That's tough.
Make bets and follow your fantasy team while you buy, sell, and trade collectibles in real time. Only on Bettor Sports Network.
Pre-gaming with Front Yard Fantasy.
Shotgun snap. Can they keep this game going to the end zone? Caught, touchdown. Josh Palmer.
Wow.
Herbert continues to do the incredible.
I don't know how he's walking, much less throwing dimes.
Man, the Josh Palmer love from the producers right now, Joey. I think that was for you. Shout out Chargers Radio for that clip.
Mm-hmm.
Does that hype you up, Joey?
I'm so hyped. Yeah, Chargers Radio, thank you so much for helping back me up on my Palmer claims today. I'm like I said, I think Palmer and Reynolds, both the Joshes. If you got Josh's wide receivers today, start them both.
What's your take on Josh Palmer this week, Coop?
I'm in on both. I was in on Josh Palmer already. Impemba convinced me to be in on Josh Reynolds, so I'm ready to get hurt by these Joshes.
Ready to get hurt by these Joshes. Let's hit some more of these questions. We are back. You're listening to pre-gaming with FYF. And actually, let's touch on this game real quick because we are 9 seconds away from the end of regulation here in Minnesota and New Orleans Saints game, the London game. The Saints are getting warmed up to kick a game-tying field goal that should send this game to overtime. It looks like the Saints are trying to get a couple more yards here before the time runs out. It's currently 2nd and 10. I don't know if he just caught that.
Oh,
that looked like a catch. Oh, they ruled out of bounds. So it looks like they might be kicking a decently far field goal here. You think they can tie it up, Coop?
I hope they can, dude. I just want more football, dude. More football, more fun. That's the rules. I don't make the rules.
All right, joining the show right now is Fernando Ramirez, Chargers reporter for the Sporting Tribune. Fernando's joining us to talk some Week 4 fantasy football, some Chargers, and he'll be joining us here in just a moment. My gosh, Olave, just missed that. That is sad. And here comes the game. Fernando, welcome into pre-gaming with FYF. Very glad to have you here, my friend. How are you doing?
Hey, good. Thank you. I saw Will Lutz hit a 60-yarder, so I think with his leg, he can hit just from about anywhere in Tottenham Stadium. So that's that should be an interesting ending to that game.
Yeah, 61-yard field goal attempt 2 seconds left. This is wild. We're gonna talk live through it as we go through. But as we do, Fernando, what are your thoughts so far on this game? Are there any takeaways or anything you're seeing that surprised you?
The Saints game?
Yeah, Saints Minnesota game.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook, what the hell? I need you on fantasy, and you're over here. You're not speeding it up. You're not doing. No, I'm kidding. You know what was funny? I saw this at. I mean, I'm on the West Coast. I went to. Did he make it?
He made. Oh no, he didn't make it. It doinked.
Oh, not the doink. That crowd must be so confused, dude.
They have no idea what's happening.
Hey, it's like when you think it's a goal and then they call the referee calls offside. You're like, no.
I'm sure they've seen their fair share of posts. So,
exactly. Honestly, the one thing that I laughed at is that I did get up at like 3 a.m. for something, and I looked at it and said, "Hey, if you or like 4 a.m." It said, "If you guys don't know, for all you West Coast people, Alvin Kamara is out. A lot of fantasy owners are going to be pissed." And that's
why you got to wake up, dude.
I had friends like in our group chat go, "Dude, what is going on?" Like Alvin Kamara, and I'm like, "Yeah, that was last minute." But other than that, I mean, Justin Jefferson is just a beast. Yeah. He. I mean, I don't want to say he deserves a better quarterback, but wow, like I could tell he gets frustrated. He got frustrated on one of those plays where he did that out in the end zone. And all he had was he had beaten the Honey Badger, and he's like looking, and he decides to check it down to Adam Thielen. So I don't know how long Justin Jefferson's gonna last, being able to not show his frustration, but I can kind of see it a little bit.
If you can see the smirk on the face of the guy in the middle, he is the preeminent Kirk Cousins hater out here. So he fully agrees with you on that one. Isn't that right, Dave?
And it's just facts. I mean, I've just seen it, and you grow tired of it, and you're kind of like, okay, I already know what this guy is. Come on, like let's do something else. And they were. I mean, people thought that they were going to be a playoff team. Obviously, we don't know yet if they will or if they're going to win the division or not. But it's a up and down with Kirk Cousins. So, but definitely that was a fun London game. I hope London enjoyed it. And I saw Ted Lasso and all the guys out there were dancing to Sweet Caroline. That was awesome. So definitely, I thought that was one of the greatest parts of the whole London game is that those guys are out there. They're filming the show and they're all excited and having fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not see the actual actors were out there.
Yeah. So the whole cast is out there at the game. It's on Bleacher Report, I think, tweeted it out.
That's so cool.
And I was watching it, and they're like Sweet Caroline, and they have beers in their hands, and they're all dancing to it. It's amazing. So I'm ready for season 3, but they're kind of delayed right now. So I'm kind of like, all right, like that's cool that you guys are at the game, but let's continue filming.
Let's get back to work.
Well,
can you
Jason
believe
Sudeikis
SNL skit? It's incredible. That show started with an SNL skit.
So
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Such a feel-good show, right? Like I love that show, man. I love that show.
Exactly. Even if you're not a soccer fan, you're gonna enjoy the show.
For sure.
Yeah. Were you gonna say, Joey?
Yeah, Sudeikis has been holding it up. He keeps doing rewrites on the season. It should have been done in the can by now. But,
really?
He's pulled it back 3 times now to rewrite.
Well, you gotta trust him.
I just watched Hocus Pocus 2 last night, and I heard that they wrote it without the Sanderson sisters knowing if they were going to come back. Bette Midler and all them were going to come back. I'm like, yeah, you can tell a damn kindergartner wrote the damn script. I wasn't too happy with it. Obviously, I'm not trying to bust anybody's bubbles or burst any bubbles or anything, but I thought the Sanderson sisters did incredible. I thought the story was lame. So that was just my take on it. And nobody asked me for it, but I'm just going to give it right now.
I love it.
I was not happy with it.
That's what our show's about.
The first Hocus Pocus is like all time classic. That's an every Halloweener, right?
But I was I have my Christmas, I have my Halloween movies, and I have my Christmas movies that I watch the whole month of all that. But I'm like, okay, no original character. Oh, well, sorry, never mind. I'm not gonna.
Let me ask you though. I want to ask you then. Like, so if you have a month lined up, at what point do you watch The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh, that's right. I watch them both months.
Both months. Oh,
you gotta watch it twice. Yep. You gotta watch it. It's a nice bridge. It's a nice bridge from in between. So I usually try and fit it in after Halloween, going into Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and Christmas.
No, and
yeah.
people try and get me to they like right around Christmas. They're like, okay, name your top 5 Christmas movies. I can't. Like Home Alone, Jingle All the Way. Like those are all like so connected with
Eyes
that.
Wide
I'm like,
Shut.
yeah, no, I can't just name one. Even Friday After Next, I consider that a Christmas movie. So
Now,
it's up there with
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Is that a Christmas movie?
Die Hard's
or no?
a Christmas movie, exactly.
Yeah.
It is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Maybe the best one.
I know, yeah. You know who? I think Reginald V. Johnson, who's obviously the dad in Family Matters. I thought he did an incredible job in that movie. Underrated, very underrated. And it's incredible because he's a cop there and he's a cop in Family Matters. So, but it's like
Alan Rickman as
Oh yeah. Alan
so
Rickman's
good, that
incredible. All right,
Can a Die Hard show.
Yeah, this just got hijacked into a Die Hard show, and I love it. Absolutely love it.
When Alan Rickman falls off of Nakatomi Plaza, the surprise look on his face. Do you know why he looks like that?
No.
Yeah.
So the director, they dropped him at 2. It's like 1, 2, 3, but they dropped him at 2. So he was actually shocked when they dropped him.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's why he looks like
those are the better. Those are the better scenes when they do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that. Thank you for that one. That's an incredible. I love stuff like that.
Me too.
That is super
I have a
interesting.
lot of
Like, okay, like, and I'm gonna give you guys one. Do you remember in the scene in the Dark Knight when they're in the prison and they name Lieutenant Gordon Commissioner Gordon, and the Joker just starts clapping and everybody turns around and looks at him like, what the hell? That was him just clapping out of nowhere and you could tell their faces are just like, oh my God. And then another one real quick, the hospital scene where they like blow it up. He only had 1 take to do it. He blows it up, but then he starts messing with the control, and that the director threw his hat on Christopher Nolan threw his hat on the ground. He was pissed because he had thought he had messed it up, but then he starts messing with the controller and detonates the second part, and he jumps like the Joker and jumps into the truck, and then they're like, dude, this is genius. I was like, yeah,
Love
that's
that.
exactly another RIP. He did a great job as the Joker. I love that.
Happy little accidents there.
Yeah. That just make the movie even better.
Yeah, one last one of those in Django. Leonardo DiCaprio when he smashes the table. Yeah, he did not. He was not supposed to break that glass, but he broke it and he just rolled with it. So that was like real blood that he was like smearing around.
I thought he should have won the Academy Award for that movie.
Yeah.
That was his movie.
The makeup one was the Revenant, right?
The Revenant. To me, I watched it and I was like, he got an Academy Award for this. Like, I was like, I guess, but I thought in Django he was amazing.
That was a lifetime achievement award.
We're talking.
Recon in the chat says, I love how these guys are talking about movies and my 18-year-old mind cannot relate.
Yeah. We have like 100 start sets we got to get to. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Chargers, right?
I want to talk Chargers, Fernando. That's why we brought you on. Chargers playing up against Houston this week. I know a lot of a lot of our audience is fantasy players, fantasy gamers, wondering, who to start, who to sit. On the Chargers side of this ball, who are you starting and sitting? Let's go through like the different positions here. Herbert, he's in. Are you starting Herbert in fantasy? You got to still, or is the injury worrying you?
He's Justin Herbert. You have to start him. I mean, and this week he said he felt a lot better going through his week than he did the week before. Last week, even Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, said, hey, I was a little passive and a little conservative with the play calling at the beginning, and I feel like that kind of got Justin out of rhythm. So this week, I feel like they have a better understanding of what they're going to do going into this week. So I would start Justin.
Start Justin. All right. And then Austin Eckler, who a lot of people have been disappointed with this week. What's the deal with Austin Eckler? Why is he playing differently than we've seen in the past? What's the difference?
So Brandon Staley's kind of pointed more towards the offensive line and the offensive scheming, that they've done things differently than they did last year, that they're going to try and get back to that. Well, today's the day. You're playing against a 32nd ranked defense. I wrote this week that they need to run, whether it's Sonny Michel, Joshua Kelly, but this is really the game to get Austin Eckler going. He went from 20 touchdowns. At this point right now, I think he had 7 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns. Right now he has 0. He hasn't even there's been no rocking of the guitar. So definitely they need to get him in the end zone. And I think this is the game where they get him going. They get him in the end zone. This is the game where you have to get this guy going. If not, it's going to be a rough season, because last year you had the run game to fall on, and here they can't run the football right now. But I definitely think this is the game where Austin gets going.
I hope so.
I will say that, he's never had 1,000-yard rushing season. So anybody that was expecting him to just be dropping 100-yard rushing bombs, every once in a while that happens, but that's not his game. You know what I mean?
He only had one last year.
Exactly. And he's got a game with, he had 10 targets a game ago. It's like you drafted him in full PPR to be who he is, and you just gotta roll with it. You start him every single week. You know what I mean? So with Eckler, you just keep rolling him out, and good times will come, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
And then on the wide receiver side of the ball, Keenan Allen ruled out this game. Ruled out. Do you think that who's gonna take Keenan Allen's place this time? Is it gonna be Gerald Everett, who is sort of moving up for this game now with Keenan Allen out?
I think it's Mike Williams. I think Mike really, I don't know for what reason, he loves playing big on the road. He played big against Kansas City. He kind of played all right. He only had two catches at home, I think. So I think this is another away game. I think he'll have Derek Stingley on him, but I think Mike's a veteran enough to be able to get separation. And I think so. Last week there was a couple of times where Justin looked his way. He was open, but I don't think Justin trusted the mechanics of his arm and with everything going on with his ribs. So he decided to kind of hold it. I don't think that happens this week. I think Justin will look more his way and get him going, especially because DeAndre Carter, Josh Palmer, and all these receivers that they have, they're good. They're not Mike Williams. They need Mike Williams to get going, and I think that's who's going to take charge today and is going to get at least a touchdown and maybe around 80 to 100 yards. I think he has a big game today.
There you go, folks. Anyone out there looking at bets, smash those overs. I think his over under for yards was somewhere in the 75 or so range. So, with that, I'd go over. I got a question for you here. So the world is now, I'm sure you are well ahead of this, but the world is now opening their eyes to how truly good Derwin James is, right? Like if he didn't get injured, a couple of years, he probably would have been all pro all these years, right? I'm a big tight end guy. We got a lot of fantasy people in the chat. He has been kind of vaporizing guys. I mean, he power bombed Travis Kelce the other day. Is this a guy that when our tight end's going up against him, we should look elsewhere, or was that just is that not going to be the game script every time around?
How much time do you have? No, I'm kidding. No, Derwin is an incredible talent. I remember I talked to Antonio Gates Derwin's rookie year, and I asked him, what is it about him? He's like, dude, he's built like a linebacker, but he's as fast as a safety, and he's as fast as a linebacker. He has the hit power of a safety, and he has the smarts of a corner and the ball instincts of a corner. So you're like, holy crap. So he's basically the perfect player. He's like, basically he is. Derwin right now would be considered, right now he'd be on GOAT, I think, on GOAT talk if he would have played these last 2 years. He is the only one that I've ever seen be able to take away Travis Kelce from a game. And you're like, whoa. So like Travis, like Darren Waller, another guy, if you look at it, when Derwin's covering these guys, he takes these guys away. So yeah, if you have, and another guy that they really use on Travis a lot too during the game week 2 was J.C. Jackson, and J.C. Jackson did a good job against him as well. But yeah, if you're a big time tight end going up against Derwin James, you likely will be shadowed by him the whole game. And Derwin really does not let anything go past him. So it might be a slow day for a tight end. But yeah, Derwin's a guy that people need to start taking notice of because the dude can really do everything. He plays 5 different positions for the Chargers. And now with Joey Bosa out, he might have to rush the passer even more.
I'm a Patriots fan, so I'm sitting here like that Wolverine meme with the J.C. Jackson picture, and I'm like, J.C., come home.
No, and JC today, she's starting today, so it should be interesting to watch him play because I was fascinated by him on that Thursday night game, and then today they're gonna play. He's gonna play again, so I really like watching defense, and I like watching JC just because I think he's an excellent corner.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. He's looked, and Derwin James just looked fantastic in the season so far. Before we let you go, Fernando, can we get a score prediction on the game today, the Houston Chargers game?
I think I had Chargers 27, Houston 19, or 18. I think the Chargers kind of get back into it. This is really sink or swim. I mean, honestly, Rashawn Slater and Joey Bosa are both out, but Ian Rappaport reported today that if they make a run towards the end of the season, Rashawn Slater can't come back. Joey should be coming back by the end of November. So I mean, you have some power coming back. If you're able to kind of keep this together, keep the ship right, and bring Joey and bring Rashawn back, you can make a run at this. But it's just about keeping the ship right. I think today they kind of, after that embarrassing loss to Jacksonville last week, I think they kind of right the ship this week and get it going.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Fernando. It's fantastic talking Chargers, talking movies with you. If you haven't already, make sure you follow Fernando at Real F Ramirez on Twitter, at Real F Ramirez. Fernando, thank you so much. Looking forward to having you back again sometime.
Appreciate you guys. Sorry for taking up the first half of the show talking.
Love it.
Movies, but appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah,
you as well, Fernando.
Thank you.
All right, you're listening to Pre-Gaming with FYF here on the Bettor Sports Network. We're going to take the next 10 minutes and answer as many of these start-sit questions as we can in the chat here. We're going to have to go rapid mode, guys. You ready?
Let's go. I want to do
All right, Eddie Phillips, need a flex, full PPR, Gabe Davis, Rashad Penny, Damian Pierce, or Rashad Bateman?
It's going to probably be Pierce for me.
Excuse me. I like Pierce. You can run against the Chargers. Can't start Bateman. It's supposed to rain. We just got news that it's now supposed to rain for the entirety of that game, and the winds are pretty bad. So, if you have any guys that are close, get them out of that game.
Yeah.
Which is also Gabe Davis in that game as well.
Gabe Davis is also in that game. Yeah, I would be okay starting Penny over Pierce if you wanted this week. The matchup is good enough. Moving on, Garrett Anderson has got to start 2 PPR. Jeff Wilson, Noah Brown, DJ Moore, Breece Hall, Devin Singletary, or Romeo Doubs.
I'm definitely starting Jeff Wilson. So
gotta start Jeff Wilson.
One of those other guys.
I would
can't start Noah Brown with Gallup and Schultz back. Yeah, Singletary. Singletary's run the 5th most routes of any running back. All right, next one.
Yeah, and if they have to rely on this game, then rely on run game, then they will. In this weather, Chase Hunter asking Sutton or Lamb. What do you think, Joe?
I'll go Sutton.
Yeah, can't go away from Sutton right now. As crazy as it is, can't go away from him.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. And then Higbee, Julio, and Cam Akers, or AJ Dillon in the flex.
Can't start Higbee out of that group.
Can't start Higbee. I'm not even starting Julio. I'd go AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon.
I'd probably go Akers over
They
Dillon.
should.
I hate that.
As a Patriots fans, we're probably going to lose by 10.
Yeah. FLX asking full PPR, 2 out of the 4, Duvernay, Everett, Dortch, or Marvin Jones. For me, it's Marvin Jones and Everett.
Yep, Everett's got 18 targets in the 2 games with Keenan Allen out. 16 targets, but it's like you got to start him, bro. You got to get Everett in there if you can, especially over these other guys. Duvernay's playing a hurricane. Dortch might lose his job to Rondell Moore.
Yeah, he might. You have to wait and see on him. A Ross in the chat, in the BSN chat, asking, is the weather a concern for AJ Brown, Sutton, or AJ Brown this week? What do you guys think?
So we talked about that on the early morning show, and John and Pemba and I decided that was where we draw the line on AJ Brown, and I would start Sutton. Sutton was like the lowest tier guy that I would start over guys in the hurricane games there, and I think I would start Sutton.
What do you think, Joe?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm literally moving players down in that game. My rankings just because, yeah.
We got Tyler asking Josh Palmer or DJ Moore. Ooh, DJ Moore is brutal this week. Are you guys comfortable sitting DJ Moore for Palmer?
DJ Moore pretty consistently gets 6 targets. I mean, I think I still starting DJ Moore, but I'm stubborn, so I could be convinced.
Joey, you got a take on that? Are you going Palmer?
I mean, DJ Moore hasn't really shown up. This could be the game he shows up, but Palmer's been double-digit fantasy points back-to-back weeks. I mentioned it before. I really like Palmer this week.
It's painful, but you might be right, Joey.
Yeah, I hate that I have so much DJ Moore. Yeah. I hope that I'm wrong. I do.
Yeah, but I think you're right. You got to go with the safe play. The safer play, as crazy as it sounds, is Josh Palmer.
Yeah, and then Mariota against the Browns or Derek Carr versus the Broncos. For me, it is still Derek Carr. Broncos.
I'm slamming Derek Carr. In all these hurricane weather games, they're playing in a dome in Las Vegas. It's a good matchup.
Yeah. Yep. Moving on to these next questions, trying to hit as many start-sit questions as we can in the last 10 minutes here. Start 2 running backs, half PPR. Wilson, Penny, Gibson, Breece Hall, or Cam Akers. What do you guys think?
Penny and
throw Hall and Akers out. Yeah, I'm starting Penny. No, Jeff Wilson's on there too.
Jeff Wilson, Rashad Penny, Antonio Gibson.
I start Jeff Wilson and Penny,
Hall.
The first 2 guys.
Yep,
they're playing full snap shares. Those guys. Yeah,
that hurts. That sucks.
And
I think I would.
The Lions.
I know. I know. That's what makes it interesting. Otherwise, I'd be going Hall here, but that's why it hurts. Hollywood or Curtis Samuel in the flex position? It's Hollywood for me. Hollywood.
Unless it's in full PPR. In full PPR, I might start Curtis Samuel. 11, 9, 10 targets.
I think it's half PPR. If it's
PPR,
the same league as the
Hollywood.
previous position.
Half PPR, start Hollywood.
And then half PPR for flex, Breece Hall, Joshua Palmer, Greg Dortch, or Michael Carter. Half PPR. I would
read that one
go.
more time?
Yeah, it was a half PPR for flex, Breece Hall, Josh Palmer, Greg Dortch, or Michael Carter.
Can't start Dortch.
Palmer for me.
Palmer. We're committed.
Ooh, I'd go Carter or Palmer. Zachary Trinken asking Breece Hall, Jahan Dotson, Rashad Bateman, or Richie James at flex PPR.
I think this is the situation where I still start Rashad Bateman.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would go Breece Hall over Bateman. Yeah. Let's see. Domo asking start 2, Lockett, Breece Hall, Juju, or Gabe Davis. Lockett, Breece Hall, Juju, or Gabe Davis starting 2.
You gotta start Lockett. I mean, he's
it's gonna be
back-to-back
Lockett.
11 targets, but he could get eaten up by Jeff Okudah. But you have to take that chance. And then we have to pick one more of the other 3. Who are they again?
It was Tyler Lockett, Breece Hall, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Gabe Davis.
Juju.
Yeah.
JL, every time you do one of these, I can I can see it behind your eyes. You want Breece Hall and Travis Etienne to be good so bad.
So badly.
So badly.
Freaking badly. It's
I'm
exactly
pulling
what
for
it
you,
is,
buddy.
Scoop.
I
Exactly
can
what
see
it
it
is.
behind your eyes. You
Breece
want
Hall
it so
hasn't
bad.
been that bad either.
He has been good. They both played well. If they just played more, they'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that annoys me.
But
Let's see.
Gotta factor that in.
I know. All right, A Ross asking pick 2 standard. So Sutton, AJ Brown, or Damian Pierce. Well, we said Sutton over AJ Brown, right?
Sutton and AJ
picking
Brown.
2, and then I'd go Sutton and Brown. Those
Sorry,
wide
the
receivers there.
Texans running back.
Deshaun asking full PPR, Antonio Gibson or Rashad Penny.
Penny.
Ooh.
Penny.
Penny.
Lines. If you're not going to start Rashad Penny this week, when are you going to start him?
Yeah, why
Exactly.
I have him. Pick 2 PPR, James Robinson, James Conner, Josh Jacobs, Scary Terry, or Rashad Bateman. PPR start 2, James Robinson, James Conner, Josh Jacobs, Scary Terry, or Rashad Bateman.
I want to say the first 2.
Yeah, the first 2.
James Robinson, James Conner.
They're great.
Okay.
They're both playing really well.
Yeah. No longer suffering Broncos fan. I love that name. He says Gabe Davis or Juju Smith-Schuster this week.
Gabe Davis, he was questionable with an injury, and he's playing in a hurricane. So give me Juju.
Juju, what do you think, Juju?
Juju. I'm looking forward to that game tonight.
Be fun.
And then 2-3 asking Judy or Bateman. I think we're Judy's side. Team Judy.
Yeah, I think it's close enough. And Bateman's, again, this weather, it concerns me. If you remember the week 1 weather game, the weather was very similar to this in terms of 15-mile-an-hour winds, heavy rain. The wind is what scares me. It's the wind.
Yeah, the wind is a scary part. And then we're going to hit 1 or 2 more of these before we head out. 2-3 asking Pitts or Njoku. This one's for you, Coop. What do you think? Pitts or Njoku?
Pitts is awesome.
Pitts. All right, and then start sit Wentz or Stafford this week. What do you think, Joey?
I'm gonna go Stafford over Wentz.
Going Stafford over Wentz.
Agree.
What do you think, Coop?
Lock it in. Stafford.
Lock it in. All right. Thank you for tuning in to Pre-Gaming with FYF this morning. We hope you enjoy your week 4 football that's coming up here just shortly. And please stay tuned. 1 to 5. We got Better Zone with Corey, Adam, and Tom. It's live action watch. 5 to 8. We got Better Zone continues with Holden Kushner and Pilar Lastra. And then tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., Coop, Simon, myself will be on right here for the FYF morning show, talking all week 4 football. We'll see you then.
Bye, everybody. I'll call in tomorrow. How about that?
Please.